We'll have music, music. No answers from above when there ain't no one to love. Yes, we will have music, music. Come on, everybody. Who is that? Dingleberry. What's that going on, Adam? When the lights go out and the food runs out, all we're live is just the music and people faking the funk. Faking the funk, faking the funk. Good morning, Lori. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh man, I tell you what, I really don't have nothing yet. I haven't even looked at the television yet. Damn it. I missed the Super Bowl. I think was the Super Bowl this weekend? I think it's Super Bowl. I think it's funny. I missed the Super Bowl. Like, oh, did I miss something? There's something interesting. Did I miss the Super Bowl? That's the first question. I thought I saw somebody post something about some football or something. Like somebody was playing. Who's playing? Unless y'all got Bill Gates or Fauci out there tackling somebody, it's not interesting to me. Getting bankers out there playing football. I might watch that. I don't know. I was going to take a peek and see what I'm missing out and what else I'm missing out on. I'm going to start right there. Good morning. Who's that? Christine. Good morning, Christine. How you doing? Happy Friday, everybody. Is today Friday? Oh, today's Thursday. Today is Thursday. Big Tree Day. Hell, Big Tree Day. All right. 2547. Yeah, you don't know what that is. Hey, who is that? Hey, good morning. That's it, Christine. Max. SJW Bowl. What is that? What is the SJW Bowl? Socially jamming with the funk. What's SJW? Socially Jamaica one. Psychotic. No, psychotic starts with a P. Super jamming wheels. I don't know what that means, Max. I have no idea what this. I guess was it Super Bowl? Did I miss it? I just got a Super Bowl cooking right now. A Super Bowl or what, Adam? What you cooking on this morning? Are you saving grandma this morning? You eating some of that stuff that's gonna give you the snot, bubbles, and droplets killing people? And I tell you what, Adam, they have not figured out yet. It's a bad idea to keep people sick as a business. Keep people sick as an industry. These people are funny, Adam. They drive me crazy. They say, grandma. Like, you know that you got a for-profit disease industry that's you selling grandma out, screaming, say grandma. The grandma got set up. That's what it is. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, and you ain't going after the reindeer that ran her over. It boggles my mind. Boy, I tell you what, like, oh, we saving grandma. You're dangerous. You have no idea what a pharmaceutical industry is. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. Did I miss the Super Bowl? What is that? Lots of laughter. Who's that? Marijuana. Wait, and what's this joke about me and some damn cactuses? What the hell are my friends up to next? We're always up to something, you little bastards. I love y'all to death, but having y'all is probably safer to have enemas than my friends because they just always find something. It don't even matter what it is. They'll find something and just dig into it. Some joke about me and cactuses. They're always up with something crazy. Who needs Fauci's and Gates when you got friends like mine? Hey, marijuana drug. No marijuana, Lori. Don't do no marijuana. I would love to do some marijuana, some Mary Jane. We're not at that at this time in my life. I'm not introducing new drugs. Right now, I got a U.S. Incorporated I need to deal with. Hey, Darlene, it's a little early. Behind Darlene. Just a little bit early. Or is there a time frame on weed and marijuana like there is on alcohol? Alcohol, it doesn't work good in the morning. Darlene, I once was in college and I was just curious, what it would be like to wake up drinking beer. So we woke up and we did a beer and eggs barbecue. We barbecued eggs on the grill with drank beer, and we did bacon on the grill too. We was crazy kids. We did a lot of stupid stuff. Never did that again. No beer in the morning. Beer in the morning don't work with me. No alcohol in the morning. Not much of an alcohol beer person no more. I kind of like to be cognizant. What is that? Super Juvenile Whiners Bowl. Yeah, well, the Whiners won. They didn't win. The whole world is in face diapers and social distancing. So they won. They grandma. Ain't nobody come to say grandma because they lining up to get cured from something that's 99.9% survival. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know what to do with people, Max. We're going to do with people. Somebody posted the other day that once again, the aliens going to come save us. People, the aliens are not interested in us. They could care less. They have zero. They give, if you know how they say they don't give two fudges, the aliens don't even give cocoa. They don't even give like a packet of cocoa. They don't give two fudge. Like, nope. Them foolish people down there killing each other, running around in face diapers and not saving grandma, but getting grandma killed and refuse to make the big pharma, big tech, big genocide, all the big industries pay for it. It's a crazy world. If I was aliens, I wouldn't save y'all neither. I wouldn't save me neither. I would say, nope, you need your species need to go extinct and we'll start all over. Lori, I don't get the cactus. Well, I took a picture with cactus. The cactus was behind me. What's the joke? Cactus is super. Thank you. Exactly. Cactus. I'm be making cactus smoothies, Christine. We're going to do cactus teas, cactus sandwiches, cactus cocoa, cactus coffee. Our cactuses are healthy. People been eating cactus for a long time. What's in the news? Y'all see this? Biden pulls out of the Yemen war. Is that true? Is that, I just read the headline. Y'all see that right there? Anybody believe that? I don't believe it. I jive and Biden is not taking us out of no damn Yemen war. It's people to kill, resources to steal, and children to famine. So no, he ain't taking us out of nothing. I don't believe none of that. I still got a friend that used to joke around, and he was sitting in an Iraq cafeteria listening to President Obama tell him, yeah, we didn't pull the troops out. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a cafeteria, like hundreds of us eating bad food, sitting in Iraq, like, oh, we just got pulled out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the strangest pull-out I've never seen. I don't believe none of that. I don't know none of it. And Trump pulled us out of Saudi Arabia and put the troops right back somewhere else. I don't believe none of it. It's a for-profit oil company with a military. Oh, did y'all see Lee Camp and Abby Martin? They did a great talk last night. Who else did something interesting? Oh, the Asians, y'all taking out the Asians in California. Why don't y'all leave the Asians alone? Why y'all do that? It's the hate crimes is up against Asians. But, you know, I say the same thing about hate crimes against anybody. First of all, your nation is a hate crime. That's number one. Let's get that out the way. Number one, nobody in government allowed to use that word. New rule. Bill Maher type. You're not allowed to use that rule if you're in government. You are a part of the hate crime. All right. We are a hate crime. We're a walking hate crime. So, you know, but I'm going to ask you this. What do you think was going to happen with people yelling, running and screaming? And every time you talk about patient zero, they look like somebody's and that's Asian. What do you think was going to happen? Right. You're raising kids to be starving and poverty, throw them in prisons, keep them in and out, recidivism rates high. Of course, they're going to do what you do in government. Hate crimes. Exactly. That's what they're going to do. Y'all need to leave them Asian people alone. But that's what happened. You stir up trouble. All year long, stirring up trouble. What did you think was going to happen? That's what I thought was going to happen. It's 420 somewhere. Is it 420, Max? Hey, is that what druggies say? I don't think it's 420 somewhere. It's right now. It's 11:10 here, and I mean the date. No, it's February 11th. That's 2/11. It ain't 420 here. Nope. I guess people just say it's 420 because they need to party. They need to blow off some steam. I understand that. What is this? Another thing in the news. 2021 to be big year in space, despite the P word. I believe that. I think they're going to keep sending probes up and don't give two damns about grandma and nobody else down here. They're not going to take on the pharmaceutical industry. They are not going to make the people pay that help kill 1 million people. I believe that. I believe they'll go to space. I believe they'll go to the bottom of the ocean. They'll go on some volcanoes. They'll go anywhere. They'll find something to do, but they're not going to help people get a clue. No, I don't do that. I'm just saying hi. Okay, darling, I'm not judging you, girl. Don't get all upset. Just get all discombobulated and stuff. I was just saying, you know, I'm fine with it. You could do crack, smoke pipes, shoot meth, opium, you know, the poppy, you know, the baby. What did the poppy took my baby away from me is a great song. I sing it all the time, but I ain't messing with nobody messing with the poppy. And I don't need poppy. I got Americans. I have family that watches television, Darlene. I do not need drugs. And then people keep me high as hell. I get boop, boop, boop. I wake up in the morning, Darlene. Boop, 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 boop. My little phone start going off. They start text messaging their nonsense. Guess what I saw on TV? Hey, oh Lord. I'm high from text messaging. I don't need any of that. Peyote comes from the cactus. Oh, yes. Max, peyote's that's a drug, isn't it? That's a yeah. Ooh, which one? I tried something that the Americans don't do. I don't think I want to do too many drugs as Americans do, Max. I'm a little concerned with putting drugs in their brains, and especially none of the ones in Walgreens. But I give cannabis a chance before I get the ones in Walgreens and CVS a chance. That stuff is killing people, keeping people alive with chronic illnesses because it's a good way to make money until a PHLU comes across and takes out people with chronic illnesses. And then the people don't have no clue that they've been kept that way for profit. All right. Oh, you should say hi. Okay, you say hi, not hi. Okay, well, I got a lot of druggy friends, Darlene. I'm sorry I included you with them. They have cactuses in the grocery store here. They have them here too, Lori. They take the spines off and everything. Ooh, toxic metal foods found in baby food. Y'all want to watch that? Is that news to anyone? Not news to me. Toxic metal food. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can I arrange this in a different way where y'all see the titles. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, there you go. 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 Make them nice and big. There we go. There's a little Viagra on the video. All right. There we go. Move that on down. There you go. Now you can see. Look at this. Look at, oh, we can do this each morning. I just want to go down the news and just be like, nope, that's bullshit. Nope, that's bullshit. Nope, that ain't happening. Nope, that's just for fun. Nope, that's part information. So no, we ain't pulling out no wars in Yemen. The wars are profitable, blowing up people, stealing their resources. We're going to keep doing that. Space missions in 2021, I do think will happen because it's not about helping people. It's about making money. And that moon might have helium-3, helium-4, helium-5, might have some gold, but it don't have no little citizen things and people that need land. Toxic metals found in baby foods. Not surprising. We don't care about children. We never have. Congressional report reveals, but they ain't known that a long time. You don't need a congressional report for that. Ooh, let me know if you want to stop on something. Extreme snowboarders. That might actually be important news. It's always good to see what people are doing to kill themselves. Oh, did y'all see that mountain climber at the picture from yesterday? Oh my God, have they lost their mind? He wasn't wearing the face. He was social distancing. He wasn't wearing the face on the side of a cliff. Did y'all see that? Oh my God, that was horrible. Hang on. That was some scary stuff. He was gripping on the side of the cliff like he was Spider-Man or something. I'm just like, man, people they kill themselves any way they want to. For me, that's a big no and a double no. Ooh, the other interesting one. Ooh, this is on my profile. Let me see if I can put my profile on there. Did y'all see the lady that they got an anti-taser suit now? I think all women should have an anti-taser suit. Just my thing because I appreciate women and their contributions to the United States, of the world, of the planet. And I think they should have, let me show you this. I'll show you why. This is why, you know why you want women to be in that suit. No, you don't. I want them to be protected from the popo. In case the popo come, hang on, let's remove that and let's add this. Let me show it to you. And it works too. Because the whole video was about whether or not the suit works. Anything that will protect you and give you fair advantage with the popo, I'm all for. And I'm not against the popo. I'm just all for fair play. It's like, driving on the roads now. You see on the road and you get that boop, 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 speed trap ahead. Thank you. That's a good thing. It makes a fair competition. I believe in fair competitions. And this is why, Lori. Yeah, oh, it's a tail. What I tell you, is that a suit? Batman approves. Hold on. Let me move this over here so I can work with it better. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. They were trying to figure out where the taser.
That's way too thin. That's not going to do anything.
It's thin. It's not about it being thin, bro.
I can't even get my finger underneath.
But whether or not it conducts electricity.
And then whatever's inside of the balloon is.
Look at that. Oh yes, she's gonna be safe in
this
that.
Is absolutely 100%.
She's not gonna be safe in that.
You can hit that.
Have you tested it?
No.
I think every woman should have a taser suit. That's what I think.
Well,
I think they all need to be superheroes. They should come in all colors and splashes and all kind of Amen. If the women need to protect the women. I'm all for the women. Y'all know that. Oh Lord. And look, I think it's to the end of the video. Did y'all see the video? All the way to the end. Look, she's whether you take it in the booty or in the side, in the leg. And I was just like, why don't y'all just taser her in the leg or something?
If this works, you could just wear this as protection underneath your clothes.
Oh, we know this, Blue Cat. We know this. We've all seen your profile pictures.
It's really warm. It doesn't breathe.
We all seen it. Yeah, look. That in the booty. Why would you do that to somebody's booty? Look at that. Nothing. Nothing.
Hold it against it.
Dutch electric. Ooh, yes. We need to test all the women too. They all need to be tested. We need to make sure that your suits work. Your husband, your boyfriend, somebody. If you're single, you find some guy who just test you. We make sure that you can be safe with the popo. Look at that.
Nothing.
Does nothing.
You have a real superhero.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. Yes, you are a superhero. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry. I know I'm a rascal. I try not to be, but you know. I'm looking for the what is this? I'm looking for the guy that was climbing on the thing, on the cliff climber. What is this? Every fake dollar you bind is a fake dollar denied. Did y'all understand this one? Hopefully y'all did. Off grid to real value and earn it, then launder it as a gift into scarce ecosystems. You know what that means? You don't have to do it, but this is what I'm thinking about doing. But this is what I've been doing. I need to do it more. Make as much money as you can and give it away. Give it away, but into sustainable systems to help people help themselves. You know, that's what we need to do. Invest in the land, invest in gold, or just totally off grid from fake currency altogether. I'm still studying blockchain, but I'm still liking what I'm seeing. Oh, this was hilarious. Did y'all see that? Then JP Sears, he was talking about what the Trump voters look like to the liberals. That was hilarious. That just remember this, people. Everybody is intelligent. Everybody has a brain and they're capable of some intelligence. You know, don't believe the news. And this was interesting too. This was I forgot the name already. Abby Martin. Abby Martin. There's silence in her everywhere. Oh, this was good. This was the sale. Please use tongue. Do not touch the bread with your hands. Thank you. That is a Save Grandmama tag, because when we go back and eco in the system and your germs is my germs and my germs is your germs, we're going to be healthy. Not cheap. That's expensive stuff. Yeah, it probably is, Buddha Cat. I think women should get them for free. Government got enough money. They can print the money. They can print the money, get every woman a bat suit. There's no question about that. Show it. What you want me to show, Christine? I was looking for the cliff picture. Oh, did y'all see this one? This is fake news. Fake news. Look, oh, can I make it bigger? No, it's not gonna get bigger. All right, fake news. You know who that is in the middle? That's I'll make it bigger right here. Boop, boop. Stimulation. There you go. In the middle, Arnold Schwarzenegger standing next to Andre the Giant and Wilt Chamberlain. Look how little he look. Just like a little man. Look like you just want to oh, he's so cute. Just a little guy. Oh, he's just so cute. Tickle him with a feather or something. Next to two big old men. But you know, in the movies, it didn't look that way. It's kind of like the news. They can fake anything they want. The truth always comes out in time. In time, you always realize that it was some bullshit. So they can make anything look the way they need to. Because what with the actors, they'll use angles with the camera, make them look like they're the same size. And they get them to stand on a post, so you'll think that these people are big people. I tell you about the time I saw Eddie Murphy in real life. Eddie Murphy's about 3'2" tall. He's just this little midget with this big old head. Nice guy, but I seen him in out there on what's that long pier, Santa Barbara Pier, something like that. He's just a little guy with this big old head. I saw this big old head like the bobblehead on this little body. And he got out the cart, and I was looking down at him. I was like, "Oh my God, you that little? Man, on TV, you just big. You look like a big virus on TV. You just look like big and scary." All right. She's a sissy. My ex-husband and I was bored, so we tried to taser each other. Wasn't too bad. Darlene, that is called. Isn't there? That has a name, Darlene. That's a what's that thing called? BSM, BDSM, or something like that. Beat the hell out of each other. Beat each other with a belt and some paddles and stuff. Y'all into that shot? I'm not into that. That's for some people. That's for strong people. I ain't that strong. No, it's sensitive parts and tenderness that need to occur. And shocking each other ain't it for me. But yeah, listen, I think everybody should do them. Y'all gotta do it. If it gets you going, do it twice. Yep. I'm anything y'all into. People into feet, into ears, into all kind of stuff. The funny video with the red haired. Oh wait, okay. Well, let me go down. Hang on. Let me find the clip. Oh Lord have mercy. Did y'all see this one? Did Tony make this one? Do you see this meme? Oh, you know, I can click on this one, make it nice and big so you can see. No bueno, no bueno. People still prepping for the anal swab. Hashtag not in my stuff. Goodness gracious. Boy, do you scare people, anything can happen. Boy, you scared, like we talked about yesterday. When you get people scared, you'd be surprised. You can be a truther all you want. The Republicans, ain't no Republicans left on Twitter no more. I think they got rid of all of them. Who Sunshine Seeker, I forgot the brother's name. He used to be around here on Facebook. He got his page deleted. He likes to post a lot of videos, police brutality. This was Representative Devin Nunes, and I know the name. I have no idea what he ever says. Because I don't watch any of the colonizers in their speeches, but he's a Republican and they deleted his account. So they're going, still deleting accounts. But he had a real thought and a real truth on there. He says, yep, well, first you cheer for it, they go for them. Next, they're coming for you. But they're not going to start with the left. They'll start with the activists on the left after they get all the activists on the right, and then they'll do the left. Because that's how the Kings always do. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Isn't that like 3 days? And I suspect people are matching their masks with their apparel and outfits. Hey, Caesar, what's going on? Good morning. Look, Caesar here on time. What the hell is going on? Oh, there you go. Cuckoo virus positions. See that one? I thought that was interesting. Here are all the approved positions. But no. We can't say that yet. I've not seen a statement from Bill Gates or Fauci on how you can do the one that you love. Love hurts. Yes, it does hurt, Buddha Cat. Love hurts, and it definitely hurts in most of them positions if you don't know how to do some yoga. These positions need to come with a yoga approval. You need a yoga certified approval to do some of these things. But it looks like they're all pretty much geared towards not breathing in the other's person, but injecting them with other things. No viruses in that. Surprise, some viruses in that. If viruses are in every skin cell and exosomes that come out your body and fly through the air, it don't really matter what position they're in. You bump in the grind, they run the skin, juices and things flying, droplets is everywhere. You're going to get everything that she got. And you're supposed to. All right, you need to eco with the system. Keep it. Here go, right here go this crazy man. Look at this. Can I make that one bigger? Y'all see this right here? This is what people are doing. I remember I told y'all the Americans is going to go crazy, going to take everybody with them. Who in the hell in their right mind? Look at this. Look at this. Who in the hell in their right mind would climb on the side of a cliff like that? Now, mind you, I believe most things is fake news, and I do believe that there's probably some sort of carriage or helicopter or something right next to him, and he just kind of scooted over and they just detached the safety rope and he's just hanging there, look like he's doing it. Spider-Man. I still wouldn't do it. You couldn't pay me enough money to be that stupid. You just couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. No, love hurts, Buddha Cat, and falling off a damn cliff will not hurt unless you you scratch yourself all the way down. And knowing my luck, it'd just be a puff of wind and just come but it'd just blow me enough just to lose my hand and foot fitting, and I'd probably scratch the whole way down. By the time I hit the bottom, I'd probably have like half a bone, little piece of skin, maybe a piece of my liver left just hanging on to my stomach. No, that's not a way to die. A lot of ways to die. That is not one of them. It's not amazing. It's evidence, Christine, that the Americans have lost their damn minds. What's the fun doing this? I don't know. I mean, people get thrills. I guess it's the same thing as tasing each other while you're doing other things. Everybody get thrills in their own ways, Christine. That's just not my way. I heard an advertisement that apparently those testing positive for the boogeyman can donate their plasma and, quote, help save 3 lives. Yeah, if it works, Adam. People that tell you anything that they need to tell you. Oh yeah, you let me inject you with this. I give you this. I give you that. With that, you saving grandmama. You just thank you for your contribution to science. It ain't no different than men, Adam Dingleberry. We recognize this very well. If you let me inject you, take you to dinner, coffee, date night Wednesdays, you put this ring on your finger, inject you for life. I give you some kids and babies. I be a good man. I go to church. I change my religion. Ain't no different. Same empty promise, Adam. Don't believe that. Everybody changes. Everybody changes. Adrenaline junkies. Is that what they're called? Buddha Cat. That's, yeah, well, you know. People can get off on it. Anything that gets you off, I'm good with. Like I said, I don't have any problems with how people do their jollies, as long as you're not hurting anybody. I don't care how you run your economy. As long as it ain't designed and blowing people up and stealing from them, I'm fine with. If you're doing that, I can't have any parts of that. If you got to go hurt somebody else to get your jollies, then I have a problem. But if the two of you is consenting adults and you two consenting countries, then you go do what you need to do. What is this? Question, vaccine equity. White House to boost, I said the word, didn't I? White House to boost V-word doses to the undeserved populations. Oh, look at that. The Washington is going to help the undeserved people. Oh, and they're always doing that. They're always just helping the undeserved people. They so full of love. Ain't they full of love, y'all? They always flock in to help the least advantaged all over the world. All right, we'll see that happen. That's some bullshit. All right, a friend of mine, a former co-worker, just posted a pic of herself getting the jab. Shaking my head. I shouldn't be shocked, but I am. That's okay, Buddha Cat. Let him go for it. Go for it. Like, get it twice. Get one in your arm, your booty, test your anus, make sure that you still safe and everything, and go back and get another one. That's where I'm at right now, Buddha Cat. I think they should get them. I'm on the kids' side when it comes to this. I think this is going to vindicate all these kids that have been forced to get these things for the longest time, saying the problems that they've been having, and the family's been saying it, and you're not really supposed to say it, but side effects or something else. Just they go ahead and wait till them side effects start coming out. Like, the funny thing, the interesting thing, Buddha, is if you're paying attention to like Dell and the rest of these who's going to be on, in about an hour and a half, you will see the damage that's happening. I suspect if you watch mainstream news, you won't see anything. That's what I think. And the reason why I think that is people text me like, see, we told you. And I'm like, you told me? What did you tell me? It's safe. Are you getting the whole picture, or are you just getting the MSN picture? Are you getting the whole picture? Or let me say it another way. Are you getting the whole picture, or are you just getting the picture on the television stations whose #1 advertiser is Big Pharma? Okay. Yeah, that I suspected it. Watching the videos of the face and the Guillain Barre. I was talking to somebody about that yesterday, Buddha. Guillain Barre, 1976. They was helping everybody out with swine flu, curing everybody, give everybody Guillain Barre. What gave a lot of people Guillain Barre? Paralysis. And then shortly after that, right, because it was 1976, and then was it 1980 something? Where Reagan and Fauci got together and they deployed the Fauci to make the one product in the United States that you cannot sue if you get any kind of side effects or die from, was that particular product. And so after 76 and the 80s, when he did that, testing went through the floor. Why would you test something that you can't be accountable? You don't have to be accountable for. Not that they're trying to hurt people, but they didn't make any changes. They didn't make any significant fixes, which is why the #1 side effect of the Pfizerian one is Guillain Barre. All you got to do is look at the #1 side effect right on the CDC's website. So, it's, they're not lying to people. So I just say, go on and get it then. Go on and get it. That's where I'm at now. Go on and get it. I'll push your wheelchair when you get over. Go on and get it. I still invite you to the property for some fresh food and smoothies and yoga. But sometimes you gotta let people learn, boo. Gotta let them learn. Gotta go ahead and let them fall in that crack. Sometimes loving people with tough love is what you need to do. You can only tell people, but so much. I posted that video with the nurse, the guy I think it was in New York, where he told everybody, he said, "You're killing my friends." He said, we had no problems in 2020, but until you started handing that thing out, and now all my friends are dying. Right? You get attached to people who live in these homes. And you bring a man down to some tears. You need to listen to him. You need, except for the man that was on, who was the brother, Shula King? Did y'all see Shula King's last? The guy that was crying for that woman. Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, he was crying. He said, "Don't leave me, baby, don't leave me." Yeah, well, and he had a good perspective. Sometimes women just put it on a little too tough. Don't put it on so tough. Sometimes you just got to go 30%. Sometimes you just give him 60%. You got to judge that man and try to figure out how much should I give him. He gave him way too much. They had to call the police on that man. They had 2 police officers dragging him out of his girlfriend's house. Like, oh, leave it, baby. Don't leave it. Grown ass man. It's not funny. It's horrible. I've been that guy before, not with the police, but I've been that guy before. Break my heart. Oh, then I grew up. But the good thing about a heart is it calluses over. Now mine is nice and calloused. Oh, what is this? GM to close down 3 more plants over chip shortages. Well, you know, that is the thing about shutting down economies. You can't get them chips made. That might be bad. Crack for all in 2021. Caesar right? I think that's coming. I think the war on drugs is done. I don't think they can afford this stuff. I think everybody gonna have crack, poppies, cocaine, whatever they want. And the world would descend into Mad Max. We'll get that chance to wear that leather, put some spikes on the shoulders. I want to be that guy that was dangling on the top of y'all know the buggy, and he was like on this top buggy thing. He was dangling back and forth on like the antenna. I want to be him. Yeah! I want to have like some feathers going up the top of my head, like a mohawk feather thing. I can't grow none of that hair, Caesar, but damn it. I'd enjoy that world. This world sucks. Huawei files lawsuit. What is this? To dispute security threat claims. And, you know, I don't believe in Huawei, nor do I believe in the product that they're deploying over there or the one that's being deployed over here. We know that 3G is an issue. 4G created diseases. The next one should not even be a discussion. So they shouldn't file no lawsuit. They all should be in prison. I saw a couple of kids die with Guillain-Barré in the 90s as a nurse. You know, Lori, I don't know any details about it. I didn't know that anyone died from it, but like that should be a hint. It should be a little hint if it's killing kids back then and then they fought to get protection so they didn't have to make no changes to their product and now they want to do it again. That should be a hint to a lot of people that maybe this is a bad idea. But, you know, critical thought is not common anymore. John Brinkus explains why boys and girls should play. Well, because they should play because boys and girls make more boys and girls. When they play, they share exosomes back and forth, which allow them to develop immunity to the environment, and we all evolve together. And also it teaches them how to kick men in the spot that you might need to kick a man in that spot one day if he goes too far. They learn that at a very young age in this country. They know, yeah, you all right, you won't be aggressive. Okay, all right, you bigger than me right now. Okay, all right. I know I know how to get you. And back then they used to get us all the time. It was a good thing too. They taught us manners. I don't believe in the new world, y'all. I don't believe in this new be safe, be safe. I believe in the bully world because the bully world brings us together. You know, that's what makes us stand up together when somebody's bullying one of our friends. She's already immunocompromised. Going to be interesting to watch. Ooh, yeah, I don't know if that's going to be interesting, Booty Cat. You might want to get some flies or something. You might, no. See, well, you know, I guess if you think about it, if you look at the last numbers from the cat, even people over 80 do well with this. Even the people with cardiovascular disease do well. It's a very small percentage that don't make it. Now they might be in for a fight, but you know, there's nothing you can say to people. I just sent him to the cardiologist. I forgot his name. The one who closed up his practice said he was going to open a clinic and start getting people off of the statin drugs that he's been selling them a lie that you can keep living on this stuff, that you really got to change your diet. You cannot live with a chronic illness. That is the stupidest idea, to subsidize people living with chronic illness in a time where the ecosystem is evolving and we need to learn to fight off. Well, not fight off. That's the wrong word, because I'm not at war with viruses. You need to learn the way to ingest them appropriately and balance them so that they don't over-replicate. Hang on. I got to pull up my YouTube video so I can see the context of the comments. So yeah, boys and girls should play together. That's the only reason why we're here, because we learn young. But the whole reason that we need to get out of bed in the morning. We get out of bed for women. We don't get out of bed for cars, houses. We don't get out of bed for, I don't get out of bed for none of that. I get out of bed because women is women. Women wasn't women, I stay right in that damn bed. I don't get out of bed to go to work. And I'm just defiant nowadays. You know, I'm not in the industry trying to make as much money as I can. I'm trying to make as little money as I can. I'm not gonna sell out for women. Women are delicious too, but no, I'm not gonna sell out for women. I think we need to buy a big house and a collie and a fences and some SUVs. No, you need to stop selling out. What you need to do. That's what you need to do. I watch my screen. Oh, full show. Iran won't return the nuclear deal if U.S. If U.S. sanctions remain. Well, sanctions are act of wars, and you can't blame Iran. I'm all for Iran having nukes. I haven't changed my position. I'm all for everybody having nukes. I'm all for 7 billion people have. Everybody should have a nuke. You know why? Because if everybody has a nuke, everybody gets listened to. Equality. That's what that's called. I'm all for that. Gerard, we still see your kind heart calloused or not? Oh, it's not kind. My heart is not. Don't be lying to people, giving them fake news. That's fake heart news. My heart is solid. Calcified like my pineal gland. I can be rough when I need to. No. My heart is rough, Lori. All you gotta do is go through a couple people kicking your heart around like it's a one of them rubber kickball balls from back in the day. They just get kicked from one person to the next person to the next person to the next person. Like that good ball. The good ball. You know, Lori, we used to run up, you kick that ball and it would make that sound. I don't think they make balls like that anymore. That thing just fly in the air. After heart's been kicked around a good long game of kickball. I mean, it still works. You know, it still works. But boy, it take a beast to wake that joker up. Them calluses get nice and thick. Them walls get nice and high. Like, yeah, we ain't playing. This is going to be a talk about love. It's supposed to be about faking the funk. Did I spell that right? Facking the funk? Did I spell that fracking the funk? Because we live in a fake world. And everybody, not everybody, most people faking the funk. Very few people ain't faking the funk. And those not faking the funk are supposed to not be popular, according to Bob Marley. Hey, Citizen Deb, good morning. For the team. Remember, for the team is bullying. For the team is being the bully to me. For the team is being the bully to me. I'm not sure of that context, Caesar, but I think when you see people bully somebody else, it makes you pull together. We had a few bullies in school. And, you know, it's like individually, yeah, we had issues with the bully. But after a while, you're like, you know what? He ain't that big. I mean, he'll get you if he rides your bus by yourself. You know, but if your friends ride your bus with you, he ain't going to get you. You're going to get him. And bullies are like the United States Incorporated, right? You know, once they show their hand, then it's an issue. You know how to get them. It's like with the CIA and torture, they say that torture is ineffective after you actually do it. The fear of it is what's most important. So I appreciate it because the bullies back then, Caesar, they taught us how to work together as a team. I know how to throw punches together. You hit his jaw, why I hit his gut, and you kick him in the nuts because you're the little guy. But yeah, bullies, they taught us how to work together. He has my share of has my share of getting kicked. Yeah, we know that, Lord. Lord, yes, do we know that? We know this, you know, and it's okay. United Corporation of America. What? Wait a minute. We might have to watch her. Is she talking about something real? Is it something real? Or is it just me? She's calling it a corporation. Nevada bill will allow companies to form governments. Oh, yeah. Somebody was talking about this. We should watch this. I mean, it's something different and not different. It's different at the level that they're doing. It's not different above it. Corbett was talking about. Let's watch this real quick. That's what Corbett was talking about. This might be important. I don't know. Ish. I got to think about it. Might be kind of important.
The results strongly support that these beings
aliens
are not closely related to any known organism on Earth.
He was able to detect the fetus of some creature. It is not human.
We will piece together the ascension teachings and disclosure of extraterrestrial beings by the Essenes.
All right.
We will go beyond what you have read in history.
As much as I love aliens, I'm gonna move forward.
I'm
I'm a big sci-fi fan.
Me
So
too.
when I saw this story, I knew I had to cover it because it is ripped straight from a million sci-fi stories. And it is this. Nevada Governor Stephen Sisolak has been touting a proposal for his state that would allow tech companies to create local governments. The proposal is currently in draft form and has not been formally introduced to the state's legislature as of yet, but still, Sisolak is psyched on his plan, which paves the way for what he's calling innovation zones. According to the draft proposal obtained by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, companies would be able to form governments that have the same authority as a county does, where they could impose taxes, form school districts, establish courts, and provide other government services. The companies would have to be offering some kind of innovative technology like blockchain, autonomous vehicles, robotics, and renewable energies, those kinds of things. To apply to become an innovation zone, a company must own 50,000 acres of undeveloped and uninhabited land within a county that's not already part of a city or town. The company must also have $250 million as an initial investment, and then a plan for an additional $1 billion investment over 10 years. And over that 10 years, the company would make steps toward becoming its own independent zone, making up its own legally binding rules and even having its own board that would act much the same as any county commissioners. So yeah, here we are, finally. Approximately 1 million science fiction books have been written where corporations become governments. And at last, we've got a governor saying it out loud. And how many of us have already seen approximately 1 billion memes saying the United Corporations of America or welcome to the country of Amazon or whatever? Hell, Google, Facebook, and Twitter are already acting like their own countries anyway. So this should come as no surprise to anyone that people are now actually proposing corporations become their own governments. But just because we knew it was coming doesn't make it any less scary. Because despite what Mitt Romney thinks, corporations are not people. They are unfeeling money-making machines. And the more control they have, the less freedom we, the people, will be granted.
That's a whole lot of nothing. Some bullshizzle. Trigger, is you crazy? Yeah, well, you know what? So I look at that in a few different ways. So first of all, at a principle level, I'm against any entity other than human beings, the entity that I am and the species that I am, having any more power. I'm completely against anything having any more power. Governments and corporations. We're going the wrong way. We need to go away from them go towards them having less power and empowering people. We know better than this. But what do I think, this means in terms of change? Nothing, really. Nothing for us. I mean, it's nothing if you know the United States is a corporation, right? If you don't know that, then, oh my God, the sky is falling, Peggy. But, if you know that these people are already corporations are already making these decisions at the federal level, then, them making more decisions at the local level ain't going to change much. It just means you're going to have different plantations that you can go live in. That's all it means. Instead of living in one massive plantation, you have little sub-corporate plantations. It doesn't surprise me one bit. Did Kim do a video on it? Was it good? Should we watch Kim's video? I don't know. I'm on the fence. Is that news? I just say that, Max, I'm going to say that that's old. That's 1871 old, So I think it's significant if you don't realize profit already decides, then it is what it is. Now, if you told me people can go set up companies, then I would agree. I'd say that makes some sense. But you can't put them little regulations how they do on the cannabis and and the natural medicine markets. Well, you got to have $500,000. You got to have $250 million. You got to have all this land stuff. No, you go back to the original American model. If you need to go be a part of your own tribe, go be a part of your own tribe. I agree with it. If it would be news if you were letting people do it and you were giving them the land back. We do need another land rush. We need another land rush to start giving people ecosystems so they can live. But giving corporations the power to put people in jail and have courts and stuff, that's just more the same. More of the United States Incorporated, same bullshizzle. There you are. Yep, there I am. And that's how they say it, agroyamas. There you are. There shall thou be. I have no idea what that means. New plantations for human farming. That's all it is, Caesar. That's it. You already saw that coming. It's just more of the same bullshit. They're just making more plantations. So now smaller corporations can own slaves too. That's all it is. I thought you were stuck in the desert. I'd never be stuck nowhere, nobody's sticking me. Don't believe my friends on Facebook. Them people lie too damn much. Don't believe them. They make stuff up. I was not stuck anywhere. Nothing got me. I was enjoying myself with Photoshop. All right. I wasn't stuck. I ain't gonna get stuck nowhere. I'm not stuckable. Gates. Yeah. Well, ooh, look at that Buddha cat. See, this is the funny thing. When you start piecing things together, then it starts making some sense. Because who is the biggest farm owner in the United States Incorporated recently announced? The biggest landowner, Bill Gates. So now that should tell you what's about to happen. Gates about to have some Gates slaves, boy. Y'all gonna be picking rice and beans, cotton, and whatever he needs, the minerals for his circuit boards and the things that you know, fight the hydrogel, but you got to go out there and put together the hydrogel, massive factories of human farming. That's what I'm happy their world is collapsing. I'm not concerned with that one bit. I'm not concerned with any of their nonsense. They can pass all the laws they want. They can try all the things they want. People don't like slavery. People are stupid, but they don't like slavery. And so they'll walk like, this is great. I'm gonna go live on the Gates plantation. Yes. And they're not gonna think about it. They'll think about it in the future. Give them same thing, Bootcamp. Same thing with people go out there getting jabs. Just give them a little time. Yeah, go see. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it looked great, huh? Slavery looked good. Okay, all right. You know, going out on the Fauci plantation. Ooh, is Bowden gonna get one? Jive and Bowden get his plantation. Where everybody just you know, Massa come by. Put your ear up. He got to sniff everybody. Make sure that you okay. This is the world we live in. Shoot, ain't no different. You on a Trump plantation, everybody present yourself. All right, everybody gonna get grabbed. Not just that. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Whole big bunch of nothing. Whole big bunch of nothing. I know y'all don't like it, but I tell you how I see things. You ain't gotta like it. I love y'all anyway. It's crazy. Like they're making it legal to have, instead of one massive plantation from sea to shining sea, to have a whole bunch of little plantations that people think is a good idea. Okay. You love chocolate? You should go work on the Hershey plantation. Yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to get free chocolate. While you're in the field picking it. Do you pick chocolate? Chocolate grows from cacao trees. Them trees get big, and it's not a lot of fun. Taking those beans out, you got to dry them out and got to stomp them with your feet and stuff like that. All right. And I think the billionaires, they have like machines that can do that. I think they'll let us do it just because it'll be fun. Oh, you got to give them something to do. Just give them something to do. They live here, so go and give them something to do. They need a sense of accomplishment, so we'll just make the slaves go out there and make them work. So yeah, not surprising. Who would have thought repealing the Act of 1871 actually means celebrating the fact that we are a corporation? Yeah. So it's solutions. Max, you have my ear on that. When you start talking about repealing what made us one big internationally owned plantation, you're saying something. You're saying something to me, you know. But everything from within a for-profit corporation that's bankrupt, everything it does is going to serve the elites. It's going to serve those who benefit from bankruptcy. Banks, big corporations, those who they print the money for, which is never us. All you got to do is repeal the Organic Act. People don't know what Max is talking about. Repeal the Washington, D.C. Act of 1871, and people can start having influence in government again. It'll probably be about this much, Max. Because you still got the robber barons and the railroad tycoons and the landowners. And the reason why they did this was to take human say, we the people, completely out. And so the we the people is gone. So if you get rid of how they got rid of the rest of the we the people, you still have money deciding. But people will be on an equal footing. They'll get some say, and they might be able to, you know, pass a few laws to start to ban the robber barons, big tech corporations, because that's the same families, you know, or same consciousness. I'll say it that way. From the big landowners, the big slavers, the big railroad tycoons, all they did is they became big tech, big bankers, big pharmaceutical industry, and now we clap for them instead of just thinking about when we can shank them. Or pee in the Kool-Aid. Oh, it's Chris George. Oh, okay. I know you. All right, there you go. Everybody got some funny names over here. I know exactly who you are. Now Gates says he's donating to organic farms. Yeah, he is. Brother, I can promise you this. I die before I eat one organic fruit from Bill Gates. I'm sorry. I'd kill me. Shoot me. Get the anus probe ready from China. Anything. I'm not eating nothing organic. This is organic. I don't like how he talks. I don't care. I love him. He's a cousin and everything. But some people you don't eat nothing from. When I worked in corporate America, certain people bring in potlucks to, yeah, we have a potluck at lunch. Oh, yeah? All right. Oh, man. Oh, I brought the macaroni. You did? Okay. Yeah, you the same lady that let the cats on the countertop and the dog lick your face. And you made some macaroni, huh? And you made some salad, too. It was raw. Don't know, had to apply no heat to it, killed the germs. Oh, yeah, you made a salad. You know, all I have in the back of my hair, Heather, is typhoid Mary. Oh, hell no. I took my butt. I know I'd rather go eat glyphosate at the mall, at the cafeteria. Ain't no way I'm eating no raw food from you. You're filthy. And Bill Gates, oh my God. The heck no. Oh, we got something organic. I got some organic peaches for you. I ain't no way I'm gonna eat a Gates peach. I ain't never gonna have it. I starve me. Starve me for it. I don't trust that man. People been trusting him in Africa for how long? Has he earned any of that trust? He ain't earned none of that trust. Let me see what Kim Iverson. Was Kim Iverson good on that? I don't want to waste time with it. I don't think there's anything there. I don't think it's anything new. It's the same bullshit. They're giving mid-sized corporations the ability to have slave plantations. The big corporations got one big massive slave plantation, and now there's mid-sized ones. I don't think that's new. There was something interesting yesterday, though. I think it was in Nevada. It was Colorado. Who was that talking about? They were having the hearings about, it's not a constitutional convention, it's called a convention of states. So it wasn't what Martin Luther King was talking about, with constitutional convention, where you suspend the federal government and fix it because it's obviously broken. But the states get together, write amendments. That is interesting to me. I'm not entirely interested. I'm a restorative republic type person. Like, you know, people have to have say in their government. And they're not going to have any say until it goes back to being some sort of republic. So I wasn't that, I mean, it's interesting, but I wasn't that interested. There's always some faking the funk, which is going along with the title, faking the funk. And that's why I never eat any Gates food out there, because he's going to be faking the funk. He's faking human. I'm leaning towards reptilian in my mind. I'm not sure yet, because I don't, somebody posted a video yesterday, the reptilian eyes. And, you know, and they might have invented Photoshop just so we would say, that's Photoshop. Like, nah, that might be a reptilian. I don't know. That man is capable of stuff that the worst people I know on the planet ain't capable of. How do you go to Africa and inject people with stuff that makes them stare? How do you, 400,000 people in India? And they say it's over 500,000 when you put together the other 12 or so nations that said that man came here and he left and he sterilized our population. So yeah, if you sterilize in populations with injections to children, what the hell are you gonna do to me with a peach? No. I go back to drinking cow booby milk right from the cow boobies before I even think out his garden. How do they say that to him? He doesn't say that. Who says what to who? What say with the what? Oh, you know, I have the comments here, but yeah, this isn't like Facebook. It doesn't have the reply, so I don't know who y'all replying to. Wonder when Trump will come back and start the Doom plantation. 4 years. Well, we're down to 3 years and some change. He's gonna come right back, and they're gonna cheer for him like, he's gonna save the world. It's like, no, he's not. He's gonna be Donald Trump. The only thing I appreciate with Donald Trump, Heather, who's that? Chris. I got to link the names in my head. He was funny. He was entertaining. That was it. But it was all the same bullshit. I mean, he did a lot of side stuff. He did the stuff you wouldn't expect, which gave him a larger portion of the black vote. And people don't like to say that and give him credit for it. Yeah, he did. He won the black vote. We got rid of the racists. And you have no idea what you're talking about. All right, let me see. What else we got? GM closes down 3 more plants over chip shortage. We saw that. That's nothing. Boys and girls. John Brexis explains why. Boy, we did that one. And won't. I don't know. Nuclear war could be interesting. I'll watch the nuclear war one. Let's see. I mean, that might be important. I don't know why this is so funny. It should not be funny. Maybe nuclear war is important. It might be. Let's see if this is something new. The world's gonna end yet. That's this proper end of it. Ooh, what's this?
When I was born in the colony of
Ooh, that's
Atlantis, I
aquaponics in
remember
Atlantis.
everything about our mother civilization.
We're not gonna do that.
Announced its plan to ship doses directly to underserved communities hit hardest by the pandemic.
They're so
Report
sweet.
is straight ahead. Plus, the WHO says not to trust U.S. intel when it comes to the origins of the novel coronavirus. We'll tell you their conclusions next. Then, as Iran celebrates its revolutionary anniversary, tensions still remain high with the U.S., with Tehran now suggesting it could pursue nuclear weapons if Washington continues with sanctions. All right, it's time to boost your news IQ. As the U.S. surpasses 26 million COVID infections, President Biden is scrambling to speed up vaccinations across the country. The administration announcing it will be increasing the vaccine supply again while focusing on providing more inoculations to underserved communities. All this as providers try to keep up with the growing number of second doses needed as millions more Americans become eligible to get the vaccine. RT's Trinity Chavez has the story.
After hitting a few snags, the Biden administration is working to improve its ambitious coronavirus vaccine rollout, this time promising more vaccine supplies come spring and zeroing in on some of the most vulnerable populations in underserved communities. This as new research shows that individuals with dementia, specifically Black Americans, are at increased risk of getting COVID-19.
Photopoke 1, 2, 3.
Today, the race to vaccinate intensifying. The Biden administration ramping up efforts, announcing its increasing vaccine supply to states, tribes, and territories by 5% over last week for a total of a 25% increase since President Biden came into office.
I think we're in a position to think big and move big.
The announcement made as the U.S. is facing new challenges, trying to juggle first and second vaccine doses. While providers are trying to ramp up the number of people getting their first COVID-19 shot, they are also trying to ensure a growing number of others get second doses of the shot, all while millions of Americans are becoming eligible to receive vaccines. In some cases, health departments and providers have had to cancel first dose appointments to ensure there are enough doses for people getting the second shot.
American people are hurt because a lot of people are in real trouble.
The Biden administration also announcing the White House will begin sending doses of COVID-19 vaccines to community centers next week.
Go in, pick it up, get it, done.
With more than 1,300 community centers across the country, most of the nearly 30 million people they serve live below the poverty line in minority communities.
So in this initial phase, we will include at least one community health center in each state and territory.
This as a new study reveals that people who have dementia, especially Black Americans, have more of a chance of getting COVID-19. After analyzing electronic health data from 61.9 million American adults, researchers from Case Western University found the risk for contracting the virus is twice as high for people with dementia versus those without it. And while patients were more likely to be hospitalized or die of COVID-19 than people without cognitive disease, among those with dementia, Black patients have nearly 3 times the risk of being infected with coronavirus as white patients did. Pamela Davis, professor of general medical sciences at Case Western University, said that is consistent with other studies in COVID infections that African Americans are more likely to acquire SARS-CoV-2 and also do worse once they get it. It's certainly a vulnerable population and one that's important to protect. And while experts say the vaccine rollout is improving, new data shows about 1 in every 3 Americans are still skeptical of COVID-19 vaccines. And some health officials say that is bad news for any hope of achieving herd immunity and defeating the outbreak here in the U.S. Reporting in New York, Trinity Chavez, RT.
Don't rely on U.S. intel. That's the warning from a member of the COVID expert team at the World Health Organization, which usually steers clear of politically charged statements. Well, this after the WHO team wrapped up its probe into the origins of the novel coronavirus, declaring the virus most likely originated from an animal. RT's Konstantin Rozkov has more details.
The figure who is front and center to this story, Peter Daszak, he is a British-American virologist who was assisting the WHO mission to Wuhan, where they came to find out the origins of the coronavirus. And so the scientist didn't mince his words when he took to Twitter to lash out, basically, at U.S. intelligence for backing the theories that the virus could have been man-made and came from a Chinese lab. Let's have a listen.
Well, now this. Joe Biden has to look tough on China. Please don't rely too much on U.S. intelligence, increasingly disengaged under Trump and frankly wrong on many aspects.
If we talk about bigger picture, the global scientific community is trying to find out the origins of the current pandemic, right? What is the source of this virus? And so that's why they sent this mission to Wuhan in Hubei, in China's Hubei province, where the virus was first detected in 2019. Now, the probe didn't give all the answers right away, but experts made an important conclusion, important in the light of this ongoing spat between China and the U.S. over who is to blame for the spread of disease. And they made a conclusion that the virus did not originate in a Chinese lab, but most likely was transmitted from animals, presumably bats, to humans. Washington officials, it didn't take long for them to voice their skepticism over this preliminary results. And for example, Ned Price, the U.S. State Department spokesperson, he said that they will not accept the findings of the WHO until they could verify it using their own intelligence.
Broadly speaking, we have expressed our concerns regarding the need for full transparency and access from China and the WHO, access from China and the WHO to all information regarding the earliest days of the pandemic.
And that speaks volumes of the level of trust that the new U.S. administration has towards the World Health Organization. And, you know, this is itself as an interesting turn of events, because as you remember, when Joe Biden came to power, he explicitly claimed that he's going to reverse most of his predecessors' policies, including the one about pulling out of the WHO. Now, as you can see, the new U.S. administration is all but following into the footsteps of the old one in this particular case. And, well, you know, just to remind you, let's have a listen to the way Donald Trump used to speak out on the matter.
Others have criticized you for using the phrase Chinese virus. How do you feel about that? Are you going to continue using that phrase?
Well, China was putting out information which was false, and rather than having an argument, I said I have to call it where it came from. It did come from China.
Well, this latest mission to Wuhan didn't give all the answers. We're still far from understanding the origins of the virus. But I guess what this story has shown is that the probe itself and the issue itself is highly politicized, and scientists are going to be under immense pressure from both American and Chinese politicians. And will that make things more complicated in the pursuit to find out the causes of the pandemic? Well, certainly, yes.
Now to the latest COVID-19 numbers worldwide. Those cases are now topping 107 million, with more than 2.3 million deaths. The U.S. is still leading the way with the most cases, now over 27 million cases, followed by India and then Brazil. Now here stateside, that number of deaths is now reaching 468,000. And over to Canada now, where travelers will be needing to give a negative COVID-19 test taken within 72 hours before seeking entry into the country. Starting February 15th, anyone arriving in Canada by land must show a negative test or get fined up to 3,000 Canadian dollars and be subjected to extensive follow-ups by health officials. Right now, only Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and essential travelers are currently allowed into the country. And 116, yes, 116-year-old French nun, the world's second oldest person, has survived COVID-19 after testing positive for the virus in mid-January. Sister Andre recovered just 3 weeks later, saying she didn't even realize she had it. Sister Andre, who is also blind and uses a wheelchair, said she's now looking forward to celebrating her 117th birthday. And as Iran celebrates its revolutionary anniversary, tensions still remain high with the U.S., with Tehran suggesting it could pursue nuclear weapons if Washington continues with sanctions. We're going to talk about it. And remember, you keep up with all the latest news and catch up with anything you might have missed by downloading the Portable TV app, so you can watch us whenever you want. We will be right back.
How to get super fast Wi-Fi anywhere, anytime in 6 seconds. Internet providers don't want you to know about this. Chris Hurst and Matthew Anderson are two computer engineers. They found a way to boost Wi-Fi signals instantly. They both worked for a large internet provider.
So what do you think? She was, how old was she? How old was she? She was 100 and, did they say 119 or 109? How old was she? The woman who survived the cuckoo virus. And wait a minute, where my nuts at? Hang on. Don't answer that. I need my nuts and I need my nana. Hold on. No, so we can go back to the first one. And, first statement is, well, all right, you're going to help out the Breck people in the Poe neighborhoods. Well, all I see is problem, reaction, solution, right? They say, oh, well, they're more disposed to it because they ain't got them genes. No, they're more disposed to all illnesses because you poison them. The cheapest food in the world makes it to the poorest neighborhoods, which includes the trailer parks because they shop at the Walmart too. It might be less fresh air in the inner cities. So to me, it's racist. It's a racist rollout. But people clap for it because they're scared. Well, you just sit back, like people go and get their cures. You create chronic illness with the problems with the food. You poison people by putting them in these concrete jungles and surrounding them by 3 plus 1. Is it 3? No, it's 3 plus 2G. So problem, reaction, solution. But this is positive racism, so you just gotta let people learn. I come out, oh Lord have mercy. I've been commenting like crazy. I was reading, I was watching. I read the comments. We were sold out to the corporation way back, along with souls in the 1300s, my dude. Yes, we were. And that's I talk about 1871, but real talk. This is 3,000 years worth of damage from the same families handed down the same damn coffers. Absolutely no question agree, which is why we have to make root level changes based on principles. Or we're going to stay in the same damn trap of the same damn people. Good morning. Jonathan Close is in the house. Got to check the Vatican back in those days of 1300. I think it's the same families. I think it's the same families and it's the same groups of people. And the Vatican was huge. I mean, they say as a guild, the popes have killed more people than any other organization or groups on the planet. Heard about you from somebody on Reddit. Somebody talking about me on Reddit, BZ? Stop playing, for real. What'd they say? Our conspiracy, they said that you have good insight into things. BZ, don't trust it, but nobody said, don't trust none of these monkeys. I don't have no insight on nothing. I just make jokes. I sit back here and like, this is some bullshit. That's all I do. I just spot out hypocrisy. That's me. I sit in the middle. I think they call it French. I got this hat, kind of look like I'm from France. I don't drink no wine. But BZ, I don't know. I look at things and I just tell you what I think. I don't have any identities. I ain't on nobody's team. I ain't on political party. And I look at things. It's like, you know what? I think we live in a time where the hypocrisy is so obvious. We need to spend time saying that's bullshit, or that's bullshit, or that might do something. That's a root problem. That's nonsense. That's a side effect, and deal with root problems. That's all. But it's good to hear people talk about me on Reddit. Does that make me a white supremacist? Isn't that what they said? The Reddit is the white supremacist platform. That's the next one they go or something. Next problem. All right. I got to eat. I didn't eat. I apologize for crunching in your ear. But slavery is real. The struggle is real. I have not eaten this morning yet. What's up, Jonathan? I saw you too. Where is Harsh here? No, Harsh is. I don't think he's here. I hope he's not here. I hope Harsh is in on another planet. It wasn't Harsh gonna go get on the ship and go to the moon or something like that. That's kind of what I was hoping. That face app war. I'm glad that finally came to an end. Do Lee and Martin Ab? Oh yes, yeah. Y'all want to look at Lee and Abby Martin? Abby Martin. It was great. We can go look at that. You mean my cult leader? All hail Harsh. The dear leader is infallible. You know, and there's nothing wrong with Harsh having a cult, Jonathan, you know, because we are in a cult too. We're in a cult called America. Well, no. Americans, well, you know, we're in a couple of different cults. We're in the United States Incorporated cult. And to me, I feel like I'm a hypocrite if I talk about anybody else's cult and I got my supremacists, United States Incorporated cult, and they go blow up people around the world and steal things from them. And you got nice cults here that all you have to do, Jonathan, is wear a robe, put on some horns, some little face paint, something like that, dance around some chicken blood, and that's it. My cult is based in something much more nefarious. I have no issues with cults. Yep, Jonathan Close, Big G, yep, there's Chris. Chris, yeah, Chris, not the other Chris. There's a bunch of Chris's around here. Hold on. We're gonna get down to some real problems, BZ. Hang in there. It's rough sometimes. I don't know nothing, BZ. I appreciate you joining the family, but I don't know nothing. I think in a time where there is nothing truthful allowed in the public space, nothing significantly truthful, all we have is our analysis and guesses. We don't know nothing. So we have no ability to abuse anybody because the billionaires that own this world, the Rothschilds that own the banking system, that set up the scarcity model for the planet, and the Rockefellers who won all the industries and set up the industries, they're all crony and they control the information in the public space. So I think all we can do is delineate, sit back, try to do some critical analysis of what's going on. And then at the end of the day, accept that we really don't know. And try to do positive things for our community and our neighbors around. That's it. The literal solution to racism is to simply by gaslighting conservatives to be more racist than them and being completely happy with that. That is all they care about. It is. It's control, both, and it works. Controlled opposition, both sides. That's why I said the top of the Ku Klux Klan and the top of the Black Panther Party, they've always been together. Top of the DNC and the top of the GOP, they're always together. They're always together on the most important things. That they only get to retire if they get y'all fighting each other. So the strategy for racism is to make racism more racism. You know exactly what you're talking about. That's a root. It's game theory. Root principles. Don't believe the bullshit. Faking the funk. That's the name of this video. Faking the funk. They're faking the funk at the top. Besides, why would you want to follow somebody that wants you to? Why would you follow somebody who wants to be the leader? Who feel they have the authority to lead you? That's crazy to me. I don't do that. I'm a god. I'm not in the race game. I done sold that ticket to somebody else. I'm a god trying to find my way in this world. And I haven't found it. I would love to see that from Gaia, the man who remembers everything. Yeah, I don't have a Gaia subscription, Christine, so that's not going to happen. My Gaia as a poor man is to watch the Gaia commercials. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. That makes a lot of sense. I delineate what I can from that, and that's it. All right, she should have just stopped at don't trust intelligence. And that's it. And that's that don't, because there's nothing intelligent. When intelligence comes up with something intelligent, Beaufont, they don't put it on television, and they sure enough don't let us know. It's a big club, and we ain't in it. I miss these videos on Facebook. Glad to find you, Big G. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't miss Facebook. I'm gonna tell you, I'm doing my best to not go back. Y'all need to pray for me. Pray for me. I'm gonna do my best to not go back to doing any videos over there. We have to move. G had to poop. Ye did not have to poop. Beaufont, if you need to know my relief schedule, then that's a whole lot earlier. It's before coffee. All right. The only thing I do after that is the liquid releases. All right. And BZ, don't let that scare you away. A lot of these people, they're just people. They're just people. They ask people questions. We're adults. We have adult level conversations. Like, oh, we can't talk about that. Nope. We need to talk about everything. If you ain't pooping at least once a day, you're going to die. And that's just real talk. Real talk. You need to eat more fiber in your diet. Don't be calling me. That's the X-Files. Somebody try to call 800 number. I'll never answer that. All right, undisclosed facts. None of the facts will be disclosed. Let me skip my comments. This is the racist rollout. All right, we'll get down to the next section. You okay, Dry? Infighting amongst your imaginary friends. We have bouts all day, Beaufort. We just go back. I talk to myself because the only intelligent conversations I get is online with y'all. And then for the most part, by my damn self in my own head. I mean, there's a few people that get it around me, but most people just in face diapers and they're hiding from oxygen. So, and I'm not at that level. I'm not at a level that I can take somebody serious while they're looking at me with this face diaper. Now, if you're a doctor, a nurse, a medical professional, you got a reason for that thing, and you have a disclaimer. But I feel like if you haven't figured out how to evolve with the ecosystem, you haven't figured out what food you're supposed to eat so your immune system works so you don't get sick from the flu, I don't think you got much to tell me. I don't know. I mean, you probably have something to tell me, but it's going to be hard for me to listen. I feel like there's some basics. Water, food for every species. If you haven't learned what you're supposed to eat and what you're supposed to drink, how much of you're supposed to eat, and how much you're supposed to drink to a point where you might die, I'm not sure there's a whole lot much more intelligence that's going to come out your mouth that I need to hear from. So most people, that's why I'm leaving Beaufort. I'm out of here. I got to go surround myself by like-minded individuals. Individuals, not races, not religions, individuals who can think for their damn self. I'd call them, in other words, adults. First, the poor have to go, and so on and so on. Well, they always go for the poor, Christine: lack of education, lack of information, and they're needy. So Jive Bowden, like part of the reason that why, like I mentioned before, they picked him is because he was the greatest systemic racist writer, law writer of the time. And they had to figure out how to get the people that didn't like the systemic racist laws to vote for him. And they did. Not, a whole bunch of them, not all of them. But, and so what he's going to write is the systemic laws that require that you do the experiment of the corporations that own this plantation. And the biggest owner in the United States Incorporated, right now, I believe, is but from the Federal Reserve to JP Morgan and the banks, international banks, but it's Big Pharma. All right, Big Pharma, big defense, big war, big police state. They're the biggest owners and investors in the United States Incorporated. So you're going to do whatever those corporations want. And so the laws he's going to write is going to take the people who are least advantaged, the ones most likely to go for the bribe and the hush money, and be experimented on, or go fight in wars, and that's why you go after the poor. That's what the kings have always done. They always go after the poor. Tactics, toxins in the brain. Yeah, well, there might be some toxic cactuses, Brother John, and I need to know what they are because I need to find me a place in the South to retire. Remember when cuckoo virus turned a Chinese man into a black man? See, BZ, that's information to me. I need a link. Doesn't surprise me. Does not surprise. I'd love to see it. And last one I remember is when they got the goat. I don't think they healed the goat yet. And then the motor oil came back infected, tested positive. And I think it was a mango or jackfruit. I keep mixing that one up. But I don't do the cuckoo. I'm not interested in the cuckoo or any flu or any cold or anything. My body beat the common cold. I know what to eat and what not to eat. And I try to help other people be easy to eat the right things, but you'll never get me being scared of anything invisible. That includes viruses, mermaids, Bigfoot, aliens, Loch Ness Monster, Chupacabra, and anything else that they try to scare me with. I'm not worried about it. If it's invisible, then it's going to get me. I'm going to live my life. They're just trying to scare that segment of the population into getting that. And that's right, because that's what they did with the Tuskegee experiment. Same thing, different flavor. I think it happened last year. Well, flu season happens every single year, BZ. And they pull it every 2 years. They pull this nonsense, and they pulled it with a bunch of other things. And just this year, they got away with it. And now where we are is saving face. Right? See, they can't admit to you that they subsidized and followed through on this, and 1 million people died. They subsidized the food, the water, the glyphosate, the pesticides, all the things that kill people, and the sugar, which is what they talked about. Say, oh, well, we need to help this population out the most because they got the dementia and Alzheimer's, and everybody now knows that Alzheimer's dementia type 3. Where does or not? It's diabetes type 3. Where's diabetes come from? Sugar, plaque getting in the way of your neurons. So they cause the problem. They cause the plaque and the clotting that ends up in people having dementia and Alzheimer's, and they subsidized it. They basically tell farmers to grow it for free on your tax dollars, and now they're going to swoop in and help the people that they help poison. That's insanity. Problem, reaction, solution. They created the problem. They told you how to react, and they're going to create a solution for it, which ain't going to be a solution. Then they're going to create another problem. Then they're going to tell you how to react to that one, and they're going to create another solution. The good thing about crony capitalism is it's designed to eat itself. The same way socialism and communism are. They're all designed to eat themselves, and it's eating itself. The systems eventually collapse. I can see the data on the demographics. That data is generally available to the general public. Yet, when you're a data person, Beaufont, I did statistics for a little bit. And as you know, like I know, that they can turn it any way that they need to, and they always do. The bastards have a kill list to do. Yes, they do, Tony, and they're going to go with the people who have given them the most blind faith. Nope, it was not true. Debs, it was the news. Nothing is true on the news. Oh, there you go. I said it right there. Yep, there you go. Whoa, okay. Whoa, herd immunity. Oh, I got to change my words. From the V that doesn't stop transmission. God bless Bill, and God have mercy on those taken. Max, that for the most part, my whole interest in the cuckoo virus is over. I don't think it's about the cuckoo virus no more. I think now it's about they've destroyed the economy and massive poverty in the Hunger Games. I think that's what's hot. The only thing that I even have interest in anymore is what happened on the Big Tree on last Thursday, where they talked about in 1974, they created that hydropipapop, and it stopped the replication of viruses in the human body. That should have been global news. It should have been global news. And then they created the next one, which is ivermectin. And then they realized zinc. And then you ended up with the Zelenka protocol. For anybody who knows anybody that ends up with a flu and the person hasn't solved their junk food addiction, or they got drug addiction with big pharma to sell profitable procedures, keeping them in chronic illnesses, you need to send them to Dr. Zelenka's protocol. No one they put on that died. And it's crazy that we live in a time, Max, where the frontline doctors told everybody that, and they deleted those videos. It was, 12 doctors who had a summit on that, and they agreed that none of our patients died. This is what everybody needs to do. People will stop dying. So they deleted the video everywhere, and people kept dying. That's why everything is a cover-up now. They're slowly releasing the lockdown to kind of play it off like they didn't just help kill 1 million people. You just helped kill 1 million people. And there are consequences for the truth. Max and everybody else, and they don't want to pay those consequences. But you will pay the piper. I guarantee you're going to always pay the piper. Karma will always come for you no matter what you do. Lots of good aluminum too. Yeah, when they put aluminum, they spray it out in the sky just to help people. They spray herbs. That's what they do. They lie about chemtrails, how it's not aluminum, actually, it's herbs. They go up in the airplanes and they spray herbs on people and vitamins. That was a great meme. Somebody did that one. I said, what do you think is in them chemtrail planes? Vitamins? And both of them, we were talking about it earlier, but don't get played by it, because they'll tell you that, and then they'll trip you up with some pictures of them releasing gasoline, their chemtrails and their comtrails. They always line you up to get played. If it's on the internet, they want it to be on the internet. You just got to ask, why do they want this particular thing to be on the internet? But they didn't get to the nuclear war part. They didn't get to it. I thought that would be interesting. I want to know if we're going to do nuclear war next. That might be something to be a little worried about.
On the 42nd anniversary of the 1979 Islamic Revolution, tensions are once again increasing between the United States and Iran. The U.S. indicating it has no plans to lift sanctions until Iran again complies with the 2015 nuclear deal. Iran is now saying if the U.S. doesn't make the first move, it could turn back on its promise to never create a nuclear weapon. RT's Rachel Blevins is joining us to discuss this debacle here. So, Rachel, why is Iran now suggesting that they're going to change their policy?
So we know that the U.S. and its allies have long accused Iran of planning to create nuclear weapons. And we actually heard about this from Iran's intelligence minister. He addressed these allegations, and he said that according to the country's own laws, they cannot create nuclear weapons. However, he said they haven't ruled it out completely right now, given the fact that the U.S. continues to refuse to lift sanctions on their country. Take a listen to his explanation.
Our nuclear program is a peaceful one, and in the fatwa by the Supreme Leader explicitly stated that the manufacturing of nuclear weapons is forbidden by the Sharia, and the Islamic Republic won't go after them and considers seeking them as haram. However, if a cat is cornered, it may show a kind of behavior that a free cat would not. If Iran is pushed in that direction, then it wouldn't be Iran's fault, but those who pushed it.
Now, even though Israeli officials and members of the Biden administration have claimed that Iran is just weeks away from creating a nuclear weapon, the latest report citing Israeli intelligence actually found that it would likely be up to 2 years before Iran would be able to gather all of the materials needed in order to do so.
Well, given what we just heard, Rachel, how has the U.S. responded to these latest statements?
Well, they actually haven't said much about those statements, which is surprising. Now, President Biden continues to say that he's waiting for Iran to make the first move in order to get back to that nuclear deal. And it's interesting because you look at when he first came into office, he signed dozens of executive orders, many of which were aimed at reversing policies taken by the Trump administration. Yet, even though there were a number of sanctions implemented by Trump, Biden has yet to pull back on those. And even when the White House was asked why the U.S. refuses to lift those sanctions, they continue to say that it was because they were implemented by Trump, and essentially that it's not their problem. Here's what was said at the White House earlier.
Full coverage for just $39 a month? How? It's easy. If you're over
That's
25
what they said.
and you have a clean driving record, you have to try
Oh,
this.
you've gone through some changes,
Just enter
brother.
some really basic
You
info,
didn't,
and you'll
you
get your
didn't,
best
you didn't, I
possible
guess you didn't went the other way.
Some people say
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
try.
Well, those were actions of the former administration, as you know, and President Biden, of course, was a part of an administration that were advocating for the plan to be put together to begin with. But I think his position, the position of our national security team, and the position that he's been in discussion with our partners about, or I should say conveying to our partners, is that it's really up to Iran to come back into full compliance.
Now, that statement that you heard there is what we continue to hear from the Biden administration, and they have yet to update it as of today.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense when you're taking executive action to overturn the previous administration. Yeah, that's a whole nother argument. But what about the timing of all of this, Rachel? I mean, is that playing a role in this tit for tat back and forth we're seeing?
So today is an incredibly important day for Iran specifically because it marks 42 years since they overthrew the brutal, oppressive dictator who was actually installed by the CIA in a military coup back in 1953. Now, normally on a day like today, on this anniversary, you would see parades throughout the country. Now, because of everything going on right now, we're actually seeing motorcades with thousands of people taking part because Iran has been hit really heavily by the coronavirus pandemic. But it's important because this is a day where a lot of Iranians see it as the day that they stood up against the U.S. and that they rooted out that corruption that was fueled by the Americans who played a significant role in their country. And now when we're talking about anniversaries, it was just last month that it marked 1 year since the U.S. assassinated Qasem Soleimani, Iran's top general. And there were a lot of concerns that maybe they would try to retaliate against U.S. troops in the Middle East. We didn't see that at the time, but it seems like Iran has continued to try to be patient, waiting to see what the new administration was going to do. Well, now it's looking like that patience could be wearing thin as they're seeing exactly what the Biden administration is doing.
Yeah.
What a patient people. What a loving and patient people. It's somebody called the United States Incorporated, went over there and killed one of their generals. And they just sit back and they said, thine shall turneth my cheek, so thine shall striketh my other cheek. That sounds familiar. That actually sounds familiar. What happens when the Muslims in Iran are more Christian than the Christians in the United States Incorporated? Anyway, so yeah, I watched this and I'm just like, okay, you know, it is what it is. It's kingdom news. This kingdom, that kingdom. I think we'll learn more truthful things in their media, them talking about us, than our media talking about them. But I'm not too interested. I don't know. It's just, it's on TV, so obviously it fulfills their need. The Nevada thing was interesting. Pitfalls of artificial intelligence. Yeah, they're going to murder us. That's the pitfall. I don't know that we need to watch that. That's a great pitfall. A mentally ill species should not make an artificial intelligence, because you're never going to make artificial intelligence. You're just going to make something that kills us. Gerard, our grand's going to be bundles growing up, or buddies growing up. I think they will be. I think the kids are going to be free. I think this is the last generation of enslaved, ignorant adults. I think enough people have had enough of this. And the more I see people starting to critical think for themselves and not just jump off of the television or a politician every time they say something, and more people are sitting back just like, nah, y'all are faking the funk. Y'all shoveling that bullshit when I can finally smell it now. I think the kids are going to be free. I think they're all going to grow up and they're going to be homies, and they're going to be working together. They're going to be in smaller communities, and corporations might not exist no more. We got to get rid of this money. Pitfalls of artificial intelligence. Yep, it's going to murder everybody. Kobe Bryant, cause of crash. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that they would actually tell us the truth, but we can see that if y'all want. Auction call off. Mexico asks auction house to withhold sale of ancient artifacts. That might be interesting. If those artifacts were like related to aliens or something. Y'all want to watch that? I like ancient archaeology. That could be interesting. Withhold the sale of ancient Hispanic artifacts. Do they go back to prehistory? That would be my question. Oh, there you go. The Navalny movement. More cause demand for Russia to set Navalny free. That actually might be important only because that's the new narrative now. Now it's China's the friend, Russia's the enemy. In 4 years, Russia will be the friend, China will be the enemy. Different sides of the same bullshit. We can look at that. Navalny. I don't want to look at the ancient archaeology though. This one might be in the pool. Maybe. I don't know.
I love it when my contact rolls back in my eye. It's like a gross game of hide and seek.
At LASIK Plus, we help patients get
Joining a choir of misdirected compassion from the mainstream media, Amnesty International has declared Alexei Navalny a prisoner of conscience. Along with a number of Western governments, the London-based organization is now demanding that the controversial figure be released from custody in Russia, while consistently ignoring high-profile activists who are locked up in the UK and the US. RT's Alex Mihailovich has the story.
Along with the millions of people who were locked up from the crime bill. Let's not forget them. There's people too.
The mainstream media doesn't want to tell you, but the darling of the West, who's currently in a Russian jail, isn't the good guy they are making him out to be. In fact, Alexei Navalny is a racist ultra-nationalist, and he isn't shy about it. Just watch this.
Здравствуйте. Сегодня мы поговорим о борьбе с насекомыми.
Hello. Today we will talk about insect control. Nobody is protected from getting a cockroach at one's house, or from a fly that is trying to get into your home through a window. We all know very well that a fly swatter will help to get rid of the fly, and a shoe will kill the cockroach. But what are we going to do if the cockroach is too big or the fly is too aggressive? In this case scenario, I recommend a gun.
That's right. The so-called anti-corruption crusader, Alexei Navalny, is a gun advocate and compares immigrants and Russian Muslims to cockroaches, while suggesting that the guns he loves could help with extermination. In the West, he'd likely be compared to one of these guys, or even these guys. Some who are now in jail for criminal behavior, just like Navalny. But somehow, since he's against the government of Russia instead of the US or one of its allies, Navalny is being portrayed as a hero in the West. Amnesty International has gone so far as to call him a prisoner of conscience. The term was handed to Navalny while ignoring the likes of Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning, and even the late Nelson Mandela. Some say the reason for this is that Amnesty International has a long history of collaborating with Western intelligence agencies and has used the prisoner of conscience designation in controversial ways in the past, denying it to enemies of the US and its friends, while assigning it to beneficial advocates of violence like Navalny. Meanwhile, along with Amnesty, Western governments are demanding that Russian authorities set Navalny free and that they release his supporters who've been incarcerated for illegally protesting.
We reiterate our call for the Russian government to immediately, unconditionally release Mr. Navalny, as well as the hundreds of other Russian citizens wrongfully detained in recent weeks for exercising their rights.
When in Russia, this is called exercising their rights. When it happens in the US, the same people call it a riot. Either way, Russia isn't having it.
That hysteria, which we have heard concerning the trial in the Navalny case, has gone way over the top. Also, when it comes to crowds partaking in illegal rallies, police in the West handle the protesters far more harshly than our law enforcement does with ours.
Talking about rallies, Russia has expelled diplomats from Germany, Poland, and Sweden, accusing them of participating in demonstrations in support of Navalny on Russian soil. In response, an employee of Russia's embassy in each of those countries has been expelled as well. Further aggravating the situation, the European Union is discussing potential sanctions against Russia with Navalny's close associates, and talks have included diplomats from Britain, the United States, Canada, and Ukraine. It is clear that the same Western nations that abhor the thought of meddling or interference in their affairs have no problem doing it to others, in this case Russia. And when it comes to Navalny, his sordid past can easily be ignored as long as he causes discord in the right place. For RT, I'm Alex Mihailovich.
What will U.S. foreign policy look like under President Biden? That's the question the world is asking right now, following his first foreign policy address, in which he had plenty to say about Russia. But while Biden clearly stated that the U.S. would not continue to, quote, roll over in the face of Russia's aggressive actions, he continued to rely on widely debunked claims to prove his points. So joining me now to discuss all of this is former UN weapons inspector Scott Ritter. All right, Scott, Biden has now openly claimed that Russia is poisoning its own citizens. We can assume there that he's talking about Alexei Navalny, but he also added all of the accusations related to him that Moscow has denied and that we have yet to see evidence of. But this seems to be the theme of his rhetoric so far, from alleged election interference to these false stories of Russian bounties on U.S. troops. So what are the long-term consequences of continuing to use debunked allegations to prove just how tough the U.S. is?
Well, first of all, understand that Joe Biden is an extension of the Democratic Party, which is still in the process as we speak of pursuing Donald Trump. And a large part of that pursuit over the past 4 years has been the now debunked allegations that Russia colluded with Trump to somehow throw the 2016 election. So, Biden's muscle flexing against Russia is right now purely a domestic political exercise. He uses cases to illustrate his accusations against Russia that resonate here at home. Russian bounties against Americans in Afghanistan. Not even the American generals believe this. They say that this is unsubstantiated intelligence. And as a former intelligence officer, I can tell you, we receive thousands of these a day, and they're garbage. You have to sift through them and find out what the gems are. And Russian bounties against Americans in Afghanistan isn't a gem. The same thing with Navalny. Look, that's a domestic problem for Russia. I mean, that's up to Russia to resolve. If Russia poisoned Navalny, there should be evidence presented to sustain that allegation. Russia has asked for this evidence to be provided by the Germans who have made this allegation. They have not done so. They provided the OPCW. Russia went to the Organization of Prohibition of Chemical Weapons and said, hey, we're a member. Accusations been made against us. Give us the data. They won't. So, it's sort of irresponsible for Biden to go down this path. If you truly believe in due process, you don't make an allegation and then deny the accused access to the evidence that backs up the allegation. The same can go for everything he's done. Russian interference in the 2020 election? No.
Okay, I'm done. Hypocrisy, same bullshit, right? We're a police state. We're a war state. We do all the same things that they do to their citizens. We probably do worse over here. Not too interested in that. So I'm going to have a request for Abby and Lee. So we'll go over Abby and Lee. It's just, They made a few good points last night. I mean, this gets right down on the whole hypocrisy. This is who we are with all these.
Finally, the adults are in control again.
And by we, I mean the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, because we're not actually in control.
And that's interesting because I would argue that that people killing tens of thousands, mainly innocent civilians, I would argue that's not an adult behavior. That's not adulting, and that goes for both Biden and Trump. This is not adult behavior they've been showing us. But yeah, so we're going to dig into that. We're also going to get into Afghanistan, and anyway, a lot of stuff. So, without further ado, you're a friend of mine, Abby Martin.
What's up, Lee?
Out with my friends again. So I like the new backdrop.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, our cool. I'm not going to reveal how we did it, but yeah, it's pretty sweet, dude.
The new background, Empire Files.
Yeah.
So
what's up,
you're
dude? How's DC?
DC. I don't know. It's the insurrection come to life. It was weird. I was, as you would know, I was a mile away from all that going down. And I was like, I think I'm going to leave the studio. I think I'm going to head home for today because, our whole system seems to be collapsing. Take the rest of the day off.
Unbelievable, dude.
So I wanted to have you on to talk about the Biden administration, where it's headed, and today we got I didn't watch any of it, but we got to see the grilling of Neera Tanden, one of your favorite people, I'm sure.
I just can't wrap. I mean, I can wrap my mind around it because Biden is that bad, but the fact that he actually picked someone that's so universally loathed by like all sides of the political spectrum was pretty surprising. It's you got to give him credit for sinking to new lows that we never could have foreseen, and really like sticking it to the Bernie movement overall.
Yeah, I felt like that was a real sign to progressives and leftists, and anybody left of kind of the corporate mainstream path. Just even if she didn't get approved, it was like just that pick showed what they thought of anyone outside of corporate America.
And to run does she have any experience doing even what she had been picked for, like running the budget or running this committee? That's like, why is she even doing it? It's just so weird. Doesn't she just troll Bernie people on Twitter all day? Like, I don't even know what she does at the Center for American Progress.
That seems to be her main job. Yeah. It's just trolling anyone who supported Bernie Sanders. I guess she has experience with telling everyone that billions of dollars should go to Israel. So maybe that was what they needed.
Yeah, right. And telling people to cut Social Security and fight against minimum wage increase and advocate for Social Security cuts. So yeah, she'll fit right in. And that's the thing. It's like, is she confirmed? Like, what is going on?
I just looked it up, and I don't think they've voted on her yet.
Okay.
So I last I saw, she had not been confirmed yet. But yeah,
And when Bernie asked her about it, she was like, "I'm sorry for I'm sorry for what I did."
It is odd how much she sounds like a drunk college girl, and it's just like I mean I know that people will say that about, but it's like legitimately like but yeah. So there's that horrible pick. But let's get into, you did a video recently on Biden's foreign policy team, or at least the team he wants. And if you watch the mainstream media, apparently this is completely different than what went on with the Trump administration, and now the adults are in the rooms. So tell us how good these adults are in the room.
Well, it's real diverse. We got the first woman top spy, Avril Haines, a terrible person, and she's real nice. She's just a sweetie.
Well,
you know,
all that matters is that you have either a woman or a person of color doing the exact same policies as was done by the white men that used to run things.
It's such a cynical exploitation of identity politics and such a sinister way to actually tout that the CIA is more diverse than ever and that we have the first Black Secretary of Defense. And it's just like, how is this going to change for the people being bombed and suffering at the hands of U.S. empire around the world? It's quite audacious and just disgusting, and it shows you how vapid really the window dressing changes are on the Biden administration when it comes to foreign policy specifically. So you have, as I mentioned, Avril Haines. This woman is essentially called like one of the nicest people in DC, which is interesting for all of the victims of the killer drone empire that Obama was deploying, because she was part and parcel with that. She was sometimes summoned in the middle of the night to actually sign off on these killer robots assassinations around the world. She also was complicit in destroying the evidence for torture and essentially like said that Gina Haspel was a great pick. This woman was sadistically like involved in the torture program. John Kerry, who says that she actually like enjoyed the torture. So she was a real sick puppy there. And apparently Avril Haines just has nothing but praise for this woman. So it's super disturbing. They're all involved in like private, weird, shadowy front groups like Palantir. This woman's involved in this data mining corporation that's also like pegged for human rights abuses, from everything from ICE roundups to God knows what else. And then, of course, I mean, Antony Blinken, I think, is the main dude because he's the Secretary of State. He's taking over Mike Pompeo's role. Yeah, he is the new Mike Pompeo. Other than the religious zealotry, he's kind of the same dude, except with much gentler, language. When it really, you can break down any single country, including Iran. He has been nothing but a failure on Iran, which we were all very optimistic of this change in diplomacy on Iran. And what they're doing with that is just really destroying the negotiations right out of the gate, because he's basically not saying that they will remove Trump's sanctions, right, until Iran capitulates. And that's the same with Venezuela. It's like,
and he said that they said Iran was weeks away from having a nuclear bomb, which is like standard like Netanyahu bullshit that is designed to just keep sanctioning Iran.
It's insane, Lee. Antony Blinken was responsible for like Biden's disastrous push for the Iraq war too, because he was his closest advisor when Biden was lobbying all Democrats to push for the Iraq war, which no one talks about. It's like, that's a horrible move, right? Everyone needs to apologize for their role in that, including Biden himself. And the fact that Antony Blinken is now like handpicked to now run foreign policy.
Right. They should all be in prison and not in office. Right. Like, not only should you not be allowed to run for office, you should be locked up.
You should be locked up. Lock him up. Lock them all up. But yeah, the Venezuela stuff is just atrocious. I mean, literally telling Marco Rubio, like, I can't wait to work with you. Out of all people in Congress, the most hardline regime change advocate who tweeted that lynch threat against Maduro during the regime change efforts in 2020. Remember, he tweeted that Gaddafi photo of Gaddafi being lynched and basically had an open death threat to an elected leader of another country. And this is the guy that Anthony Blinken's like, you know what? Really stoked, man. Like, we're going to do some great things together.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no difference between the two parties on Venezuela.
No.
And now we're seeing Iran as well. But with Venezuela, that was one of my favorite parts of that was that during Trump's last State of the Union, where he acknowledged Guaido as who was in the audience there, sitting on the stairs or whatever because they couldn't find him a chair. It was the only time Nancy Pelosi gave a standing ovation during the entire speech. That was her moment. She was like, "Yes, fake president of Venezuela for a U.S.-backed coup."
Well, what's crazy is Juan Guaido doesn't even have a legislative position anymore. You know, formerly he was like part of the National Assembly, so there was some sort of facade of like you have some sort of role in politics in Venezuela. Now he's just some dude who like is hated. You know, like there's like mobs of people want to beat him up if they see him on the street. He's like the Steven Crowder meme where he's just at that empty booth being like, "I'm the president of Venezuela, prove me wrong." Like, I mean, it's just so weird. It's so weird that this would be the first thing where they're like, we still recognize this random dude who has no legitimacy whatsoever.
Yeah, and also with Ecuador this past week, as they were voting for the socialists to rouse. Before that, Lenin Moreno was in D.C. meeting with the Biden administration, like basically, how can we suppress the vote?
Yeah, how can we suppress the vote? Probably coup plots lined up, you know, similarly to like what happened in Bolivia. You probably have all the voting irregularities ready to be rolled out on corporate media talking about how the vote's not fair and we need a recount and, you know, this guy can't be trusted. And it's just the same script over and over again. And I just hope that it's a resounding victory, and I think it will be based on what we've seen so far. And it's just unbelievable that this is happening yet again. And Lenin Moreno is such a goddamn sellout. What he did to that country and what he did to Correa's legacy, it's just a disgrace. And of course, Assange. I mean, it's just a complete disgrace. He should be mortified for what a failure he is and what a U.S. puppet he is. What a pathetic little puppet.
I noticed we have Medea Benjamin here as well as Mickey Huff. Glad they joined us.
Oh, nice.
Awesome. You mentioned Assange. That's another area where we're not seeing a lot of difference between the two administrations. Obama, despite obviously persecuting Assange, he chose not to indict him under espionage charges because they were afraid of the precedent that would set against publishing and speech. Trump administration then does indict him, in these ridiculous charges. But now we know the British courts have ruled he can't be extradited, and yet the Biden administration continues to appeal.
That's what you've seen a lot of instances in terms of Biden adopting now what Trump did, is that Biden comes into office just saying return to normalcy, return to the era that gave us Trump. But instead, he's just saying, let's just not do anything to actually change what Trump was doing. Like, Trump took us to a new level. You know, the DOJ prosecution going after press specifically, not just whistleblowers, but actual press. That is a pretty harrowing leap, an assault on free press. And Biden is just like, no, we're just going to go along to get along with whatever Trump was doing. This fascist maneuver, that's a severe assault on the First Amendment. And then in terms of Trump's foreign policy, we already know that the Democrats lined up behind all of the worst war crimes and in fact pushed Trump from the right a lot of times when it came to diplomacy and bombing. But when it comes to Trump's like drone empire, the fact that he increased drones 300%, doubled civilian casualties with an increase in bombing around the world, Biden's team is inheriting this with no discussion about reining this back at all. And of course, Trump made it much less transparent, told the Pentagon to take the gloves off. It's actually hard to find accounting for the casualties that are happening right now under America's drones and bombing campaigns. So
Right, I think
that is super disturbing.
Yeah, what wasn't the last year that they revealed the number of munitions dropped? I think it was 2017, so it was after Trump's first full year, and it was like 40,000 in a year. Obama's final year, it was 26,000. Both of those numbers are fucking insane. So it did increase under Trump, but under both Obama and Trump, it's an insane number of bombs being dropped. I think it averages out to like one every 12 minutes. And assuming they've kind of kept on that path without any large changes, I mean, that's still going on now.
Yeah, and it just increases and increases, and Biden's team is not talking about dropping that, as well as the sanctions. I mean, the sanctions were genocidal. We already know what they did to kill tens of thousands in Venezuela. For the first time in Iran, children are facing malnutrition in decades. 800 plus sanctions on Iran, and to reinstate this, or renegotiate rather, this nuclear deal, the sanctions need to go, right? Iran isn't who ruined the deal. Iran isn't who ripped up the deal. Iran was complying with the deal. The US is what ripped up the deal. And then they implemented all these genocidal sanctions, as well as just constant military maneuvers and threats. And of course, the assassinations against not only Soleimani, but Fakhrizadeh, the nuclear scientist. All of these things need to be apologized for, accounted for, right? There needs to be some sort of accountability and responsibility on behalf of Biden if he wants Iran to act accordingly. You know, we can't just constantly warmonger and threaten another country and tear up all diplomacy and then just say, no, you need to capitulate. No, that's not the way this works. Biden.
That's not how any deal contract works. You know, we're the ones that left it. Iran stuck with it for a long time. And despite the fact that the U.S. had pulled out. And you mentioned the scientists being killed. You know, these are Israeli assassinations, but with U.S. help, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how is that not considered terrorism? Like, you're literally assassinating scientists. How is that not terrorism?
I mean, it is terrorism. It's state-sponsored terrorism, but we already know that the world's biggest terrorist force is the U.S. and the Pentagon and the war machine. And of course, we don't call it ourselves terrorists. It's only the people who are fighting back under, you know, the drones that we drop and the bombs that we drop. That's the only terrorism that really exists in the country. It's never the state of Israel or the powerful, you know, Gulf monarchies that are committing genocide in Yemen. No, that's not terrorism. That's just
real talk. Real talk. So it's the same thing as always. Same thing as always. Where's my mic? Weird. Same thing as always, right? It's terrorism when people don't do what the United States Incorporated wants them to do, and it's not terrorism when they do it. You know, which is the same bizarre, same bullshit it's always been. You know, people. The only reason people engage with it is because they think they have say, and there is no say. They own you. They dictate what they're going to do. January the 6th, you were the terrorist, right? All year long, protesting in the streets, you were the terrorist. You know, when you give the state the authority to murder carte blanche, that's what it'll do. It'll make anybody a terrorist. And you're all just poor people who want to be left alone. And I guess the sooner people realize that, the sooner we'll actually get somewhere. But until then, nothing will change. As long as you consent to the state that usurps the authority to bomb children, carte blanche, bomb you, jail you, nothing will change. So most people consent to it. So let me do the comments and we'll see where that goes from there. I'm interested, and it was a great conversation, but I'll let you watch the rest of it. It's the same thing. Nothing's changed, right? You know, and one day when it comes to the United States Incorporated, I hope I'm wrong, but every president bombs more, every president kills more, every president incarcerates more, simply, and the police state gets stronger every single president because the presidents don't matter. They're not actually in control. The only thing they control is the microphone. And that's part of why, you know, all they really need to do is just silence the people on the microphone and make sure they go along with the bullshit. It's all dark vibe, negative energy, satanic, Basil Bob Bail activity on both sides. You know, and I wouldn't say that if they weren't killing people. The fact that they're killing people, it's just too far. It's not political. Murder is not political. There's nothing political about murder. Right? Murdering people and stealing from them isn't political. That's demon versus demon. And so I have no dog in that fight. Could be a warning. Could what be a warning, Beezy? I think everything's a warning. Oh, you mean, and I do want to see that video. I did see that. If you got a video with some black snakes or black worms coming out of Biden's suit, I really want to see that. I do. Yes, we're faking the funk, Lori. The whole world is fake. The whole world is fake. So just enjoy the funk. That's all you can do. See, to me, everything is quite insane, and being afraid is what they want. So F them. Right. Don't have any fear. Just go with it. Laugh at it and keep moving. Like, yep, you're dark vibe, negative creature energy, archon, Basil Bob, Bail, demon. I ain't scared of you. So you can go all the way to hell, and I'm going to laugh at you the whole damn time. You know, they want you to be scared. They want the fear. Don't give them the fear. Oh, look, that's mine. That was my own comment. What was that? About the Koch refinery. Right. So why we want to go to Venezuela? Because that's where the oil is that's designed for the Koch brothers refinery. Right. This is why Juan Guaido is a favorite of the last administration and will be of this administration, because they need to invade those people and steal the oil because the Koch brothers bought it. The United States Incorporated is a bankrupt corporation, and the Koch brothers hired it to go get their oil. So they're going to go get their oil. Like some battery or whatever companies hired them to go get the lithium from Bolivia. That's how that works, or the oil from somewhere else. None of these things are about American flags and freedom and democracy and love and grandma and apple pie. It's all just about money. It's about theft, murder, rape, and destruction. That's all it is. That's all it is. Dark vibe. That's why I don't have any interest in politics. So I just sit back here and laugh at it best that I can. Because a lot of stuff being gone over there, Putin's entire cabinet staff abandoned him. And it's a theory Putin is showing signs of Alzheimer's. I haven't seen that, Beasley. He in Alzheimer's, he's smarter than everybody I've seen in Washington. I mean, he's dirty. He's a thug. There's no question about that. He runs a cartel. But Russia is real weird. I have friends who came here from Russia, and they just talk about there are multiple factions. You know, those who control the military. There's Rothschild central banking there, and there's Putin. They suspect Putin is one of the wealthiest men in the world. Quietly, he may be the wealthiest, which I don't really think so. I think Putin is within the ruler class, and the ruler class will never equate anywhere near the wealth of the owner class. You know, they say Jeff Bezos is the wealthiest man in the world. I think he's the wealthiest man in the public-facing world. Growing up around wealthy people, they don't like to let us know anything. They don't tell us anything, let alone what they tell us those who have the most resources and money. They really don't care what we think. They own continents. Stuff's moving fast. It seems like we all got that feeling something's going to happen. Oh, yeah, something's going to happen, BZ. A whole lot of somethings are going to happen. In the end, it's going to be good. In the near term, it's probably going to be quite dark. Be prepared for whatever you think that something is. You know, most of us here, we don't talk about it, we be about it. So we see something coming, and we're getting ready for what's coming. It's focused on living and refusing to participate in anything public. I am focused on my plans and goals and families. lives and celebration and crises. When I hear this stuff now, it's blah, blah, right? So, you know, what's funny to me is we all feel the same. I watch it and I want to watch it. And I watched part of it like driving home from slavery last night, Citizen Death. And I just feel it's the same stupid stuff. They're killing people and robbing them. And how much longer before the majority figure out they just kill people and rob them? There's no difference between the Bloods and the Crips and the nations. And there's some slight differences. There's some slight differences in the political party, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, they're all for hire. The politicians and the Pentagon, they're all for hire. And they all do exactly what they're paid to do. The Americans stand up and say, no, we're done. We're not going to do that anymore. Hey, welcome from Australia, the watermelons. Australia, y'all got it bad on the lockdown, didn't you? They didn't lock you down, treated you like they treated us, like a two-headed Morgellon stepchild with black goo in his eyes. They just been slapping us around, calling us Dolly for the last year. It's crazy. People go along with it. That was helpful. We got to save grandma. It's encouraging to see people all across the United States in small towns like, yeah, we're not going to do what y'all are doing in big cities. It's encouraging. It's very encouraging. Funk fiction. That's all it is, Buddha Cat. That's why eventually it just becomes blah, 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 blah. Like I really appreciate Lee Camp and I really appreciate Abby Martin. Don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, it's the same thing. You know, and they've been saying it for a while too, right? Like they're telling you like, it's all bullshit. So we need to get past it. We need to do something different, but everyone does the same thing. And I think it's usually about fear. You know, around election time, they always start ramping up the fear. This will happen if we don't do this. If we don't get the Republicans out, if we don't get the Democrats out, this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I don't really have any fear of who wins and loses because to me, it's all bullshit. You know, it's all fiction. It's all fiction. Del Big Tree's coming on 45 minutes. I'm not going to be here much longer. I just want to see. I was kind of hoping there was some aliens or something, something important in the news. And extreme snowboarders, that sounds important, more important than all of this. They're still up to the same things. They're not doing, our AI might be interesting. I like ancient archaeology. I think the ancients left a lot of things for us. I don't know. Hackers add massive levels of lye in Florida water treatment plant. Yeah, well, nobody should be drinking water from plants anyway. People should be drinking water from natural sources. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything. I don't see anything that's new. I just see the same old bullshit like that. Yes. Airlines change routes for leisure travelers. Oh, that's so nice. Resignation calls. Who we gonna call to resign? United States Incorporated? Nope. Senate impeachment. Trials begins with debates over constitutionality. Is anyone watching that? I haven't watched anything on it. Is there anything? Did anybody say anything important there? I don't know that I care. I just know that they're gonna make that man a demigod. They keep playing because everybody hates the United States Incorporated. They all just keep, you know, trying to make him look bad. It just makes you look worse because it does. I don't think he's a solution. I think we're the solution. But at the end of the day, all y'all to keep doing is attacking him. And everybody hates y'all. And by y'all, I mean establishment. That's both political parties. UK refuses to join the US in ending arms sales to Saudi Arabia. It doesn't really matter. We end arms sales to Saudi Arabia. We're going to step them up to Congo or step them up to the Middle East or step them up to Venezuela. We're the #1 arms dealer in the world. So, you know, UK and US, they always play both sides of the same dog. Two cheeks of the same anus. All right. It's the same thing. They always work together. There is no UK. There is no US. We're all owned by the city of London to a degree. So they dictate what we do. And usually there's like this controlled oppositional thing where people think there's a difference. And I don't see any difference. They always play good cop, bad cop, and they get away with murder. Trump's second impeachment trial begins. Thank you for that. And no, thank you. Sentimental inspiration behind Phil Keegan's Tough as Nails competition series. All right, well, that sounds nice. I don't see anything new. Tech companies could start forming governments. Yep. I guess Tim Iverson did one on that. I'll watch it later, but to me, I don't think that's anything new either. It's the same bullshit that we've always been dealing with. Brad, because I mean, think about like history. Another thing on that, think about history. The robber barons own the towns. The railroad tycoons own the towns, and they dictated to the government what they would do. All this basically is doing is it's just they're coming out the closet and they're just making a law saying, yep, this is what we're doing. Oh, that's weird. What is that? Chat not letting me post a link. If you leave this video up, I would drop the link in the comment section. Okay. All right. Appreciate that, BZ. I'll take a look at it. Tech companies could start forming governments. So yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I think that's what it's always been. I mean, big corporations pretty much dictate to the local governments now. They lobby them. So how's that any different? U.S. won't lift Iran sanctions. I think Iran already has the bomb. I think Kim Iverson did a video on that. I think they already have it. I think that the religious guys are like, yeah, we're not supposed to make it because Allah says not to make it, but they're not stupid. They know if they don't have it, the U.S. is going to invade them and steal their oil. So that I think they already have it. They may not have enough of them. And besides, does anybody actually think that Israel, United States Incorporated, and Iran would actually put their war strategies on the internet for us? Does anyone think that billionaires will put their business plans on like, well, here's what we're thinking about doing. We're going to create a new product called this, and then we're going to research it and make this. We're going to make a lot of money on it and put it out publicly so everybody can see it. Like, I don't know. That's the problem when it comes to, like, I think using logic. And it makes it blah, blah, Citizen Dev. It's just like, do we really think that they're telling us everything? And if you got half a brain in your head, you know U.S. News is not telling people in the U.S. the full truth. And Russia News is not telling people in Russia the full truth. It's all mostly bullshit. Billionaires don't make their war strategies, which are just business plans, in the public domain. They don't want you to have a choice. Slaves don't get to have a choice in any of this. Masters don't ask the slaves, give them all the information and ask them what they should do. Doesn't work that way. Never has, never will. We either reclaim our sovereignty or we keep just, this is entertainment. That's what it is. This is entertainment. This isn't news. It's all entertainment. But I think between the cracks, you might be able to pull out something that makes some sense. But on the surface, it's like watching the cartoons. All right, China's Tianwen 1 aircraft to reach Mars this week. Okay. Maybe they find the aliens. But that's China. They got a Rothschild bank, so they're going to find exactly what's profitable for them to find, which is the same thing they found when they came to the United States. And they didn't find anything. Same thing when they went to Africa. Ain't nobody here, just some pagans. We're going to give them a better life and some Christianity and make them some slaves so they have a better life and healthcare. Same thing as the United States right now. Colonizers, when they go to the new land, they can't come back and say they found anything. They come back and say they found nothing. Same thing they found on the moon, talcum powder. They're not going to tell us. Big club, we ain't in it. Ecuador heading to an election runoff. Okay. Central America is nice, but everything in Central America goes back to conflict, hitmanism, blowing up nations, putting in puppet governments. Biden refuses to ease sanctions on Iran. Of course, because they're all in the same boat. That's what I believe. I think Trump was just controlled opposition. He had a little something different about him. But for the most part, you're going to do what the master tells you to do. And the presidents aren't the master. They're the janitors, if anything. Or just the heads of the advertising department, the Actors Guild, the thespian leads. Netanyahu denies corruption charges. Well, every leader is corrupt. So there you go. All laws are illegal. All governments are dirty. They're all mafias and mobs. Antifa sympathizers working in media and big tech. We already know that. We already know. And when it ain't them, it'll be the conservatives. Then it'll slip back to the other side. Then it'll slip back to the other side. Good cop, bad cop, And as long as profits roll, it's all big tech wants. Big tech does not have a conscience. Big tech has a bank account, and they want to fill it. And they will, as long as we're stupid. As long as we're divided, we will continue to fill their coffers. And I'm also going to post the link to the Chinese doctor catching C. Oh, yeah, and turn his skin black. Whoa, okay, I didn't know that happened. BZ, I never saw the beginning of this. I mean, when this all jumped off, I went back to my pharmaceutical days. I used to work in the industry. I was like, okay, This is the next Ebola. They have a lot of medications and procedures they need to sell and disease management, and they don't make any money unless people getting sick. So I know whatever was going to happen, they were going to try to blow it up into a thing. And damn it, did they win. They blew it up into a thing. So no, I didn't know if his skin turned black or what happened. I thought that he got sick and he posted some videos and they put him in jail. Then they let him out of jail. Then he died. My early theories were around something slipped out of a lab, but I don't know. I don't care. The only thing that's important is what we do now. I think that they use that to divide people up too. Like instead of talking about how do we help people in a destroyed economy globally, let's argue about what happened a year ago. I think the bottom line is this: we have very sick people. We have industries making trillions of dollars, keeping them sick with the disease management. We're either putting a stop to that or we're not. Some people think that laboratories can keep up making cures as fast as viruses and infinite counts can basically keep mutating. Don't think so. I don't think that's possible. So either we're helping people or we're just talking bullshit. So I think a lot of it's just they just need to get people fighting. Maskers versus non-maskers. Lab escapers versus its organic and naturalers. And and you probably got the people fighting over what's the better one. Oh, they actually are. What's the better cure? Johnson & Johnson's or Pfizerians. To me, I think it's, are you poisoning people so that they die from the ecosystem? And if you're poisoning people so that they die from the ecosystem, when I take it back to the root far enough, glyphosate, pesticides, sugar, poisonous foods, poisonous water, the chlorine and fluoride, whatever's in the atmosphere, they're ejecting at night, the lithium, the aluminum, all that stuff. If you are doing things to poison people, I can't go any further beyond that conversation. Half the time, BZ. Wait a minute, hold on. You want to argue about the side effects. Let's talk about the root. Let's go right back to the root. Who is immunosuppressing the people? And there are industries that are doing that. So we got to heal that first. Once you stop big pharma from making drug addicts out of everybody, poisoning all the food supply and the water supply, whoever's stealing the land to force people to live in concrete jungles so they can't grow their own fresh organic food. Until you do that, we don't really know who would be sick and who would die from anything. Right? Because if humans don't eat human food, they won't have functional human immune systems to fight off things in the environment that are always evolving the ecosystem. That's my general stance on it. What I do, BZ, what the sisters right here are talking about, I always just point everybody over to Del Bigtree. Del Bigtree will answer the heavy scientific questions when it comes to all that. If I think a bat and a snake got together, did some footsie and ended up making something, I don't know. But it wouldn't surprise me if, it was some super soldier type stuff out of a lab, and they, change your skin color to black or blue, make you got bigger muscles. Everybody's working on super soldiers. Every nation that has a laboratory that is doing genetic enhancements to figure out how to make their citizen slaves stronger, faster, smarter, or more deadlier than what we are to come kill us. And we're doing the same thing to them. I guess at the end of the day, BZ, which is why I have no teams in any of it, if we're not acting like we're family, which we all are, we're all cousins around the planet, then those people aren't leading me. The ones who are working on making massive metal machines and DNA altering compounds to go murder more people around the planet, they're not leading me anywhere. I can't follow people like that. It's just crazy. All right, Reddit attempts to manipulate markets, as they should. That's what for-profit corporations do. Oh, we're a conscious corporation. Corporations aren't conscious. They're in it for the money. That's all. AOC during the Capitol riot. Now, I kind of do want to watch that. I think this might be interesting, maybe a little bit funny. I heard that she wasn't there, which is interesting to me because I thought there was something posted where she said they were trying to kill her, but she wasn't there or something. Usually karma is a really nasty thing, and it will always come back. So if you're not bombing other people, usually you don't really have to worry about people coming after you. I'll look over my shoulder because I don't really have any enemies on earth that I know of. It might be people don't like me.
Pennsylvania
But at the end of
homeowners,
the day,
your
that's
home is your
the
biggest
same thing as
investment. So
why
you
would
want
you
to
be
watch this
scared of
video.
something that you can't see?
Did you know that many homeowners in Pennsylvania are getting a brand new roof by
Commercials. All right. I see if this is anything. I just like to know if she actually was there. That was fake news.
And joining me now to discuss the crazy world of media is investigative journalist, managing editor, and host of Sinclair's Full Measure with Sharyl Attkisson, and the author of Slanted, Sharyl Attkisson. Sharyl, I would like your take on the AOC story where she put out videos describing in great detail that she thought the rioters were at the Capitol were going to kill her. They were in the hallway at her office. She blamed Ted Cruz for wanting her murdered, and the media ran with it all, no questions asked. And now we see it didn't quite happen the way she described. But will the media hold her accountable?
Nope.
Well, you know, I've become sort of an expert playing this substitution game, as I call it, looking at the double standards. And I think we know now, based on experience, that had anyone on the other side made the exact same claims, it would have been called unverified and attacked, and the people would have been vilified and told that they were lying, and their accounts would have been pulled down from social media. So, as you pointed out, a very, very different treatment by the media, social media, and everyone concerned. In fact, again, if the tables were turned, I think the other side would be arguing that those comments made that were true or not, I don't know, but could themselves incite violence, because you're hearing a member of Congress say how she was attacked and treated and what the police were doing to her, how the cops were looking at her. So again, if it were the other side making the same remarks, I think it'd be a whole different story.
A whole different story. There would be mis or disinformation, and like you said, she would be pulled. I want you to watch CNN's media guy, Brian Stelter.
There is up in the sky information pollution, and the polluters are trying to deflect blame. Dishonest cries of censorship are filling Fox's airwaves, but reducing a liar's reach is not the same as censoring freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is different than freedom of reach and algorithmic reach. This is complicated, but harm reduction is possible.
No, it's not.
Harm reduction is possible by adding more news and less opinion to the content. This is not ultimately about freedom of speech.
It is about freedom of speech.
It's about freedom of reach.
No, that's bullshizzle. That's wordplay bullshizzle. All of that is bullshizzle. The only answer to bad speech is more speech. That's it. Somebody speaking foul, wrong, then you need more people to speak up to undo the foul and the wrong. But the good thing about letting people speak wrong and let people lie is when they get called out on it, then no one trusts them anymore, which is important. But just limiting reach, no, because first of all, economic systems don't work that way. They're going to limit the reach. They're going to limit the reach of those who affect their profits most. And they're going to give reach to those who make their profits increase. It has nothing to do with the left and the right. It has nothing to do with anything else. It has to do with money. The reason a corporation exists is money. The reason governments exist is power. And they're always going to do the things that get them at that end. And that's the end of the discussion, you know. And it just happens right now that the left has more deals with big tech and the billions of dollars with the CIA. And so they needed those people in those cabinet positions, and they happen to be on the left. So they're getting their billions of dollars, and they're doing exactly what CIA is known for. Same thing Soros is known for. Divide and conquer. Divide people up, make them angry, make them dramatic. Do anything you can to incite violence and riots. Take away their voice so their only other recourse is physical. You know, so they can get their martial law. They've been playing this game on us for 3,000 years at least. You know, it's the same stuff. So anyway, all right. I mean, that's all I got, you guys. I don't really see anything new. That's just where we are. We're still faking the funk. That's where we are. We're still faking the funk. But if you want a piece of reality, all you got to do is tune in to Del Bigtree in about 30 minutes on thehighwire.com. That's the brother that's always dropping scientific truth bombs. It's WikiLeaks for medical professionals until we get out of this darkness. And once we get out of this darkness of being scared of air, then we need to figure out how to take that power from the authoritarian tyrants that just killed 1 million people for various reasons. Everything from to sell cures, to sell expensive procedures, to sell face diapers for government to gain more power and to dethrone a president. 1 million people died. The question is whether or not we're going to let them keep the power that they just did this with. Because if they keep the power, they're going to do it again. That is a guarantee. So there's no win to end the lockdowns and release the slave-like face diapers that they put people in. The only win is when you take that power from government and you also begin trials for the mass murder of millions of people. Anyway, this is Gerard. Got to get going. Y'all have a great day. I see you, some of y'all, in 30 minutes over there on Del Bigtree.
Break the chains that bind me, 'cause I wanna break the chains that bind you. Do you wanna set the world free, have perfect harmony? Isn't it time for that? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop. Do you wanna let go of the prisoners? See everyone happy. We can have this and more if we open up the doors. Well, what do you think about that? Do you wanna free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, boom, free the people and Mother Nature too? Close down all the zoos. Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna boom, 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 boom? Do you wanna free, boom, boom, free the people? Do you wanna free, boom, 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 free the people from the bottom to the top? Make modern slavery stop.